Chapter 42-49. Using the word refuge to describe a terminus life form, especially a terminus ruler, was far too inappropriate. However, that was exactly what Lin Feng knew. Someone as powerful as the golden silkworm ruler had entered the terminus zones to avoid danger? Lin Feng found it hard to believe, but the golden silkworm ruler's serious expression didn't seem like he was lying at all. Furthermore, there was no reason for the golden silkworm ruler to lie to him, so Lin Feng believed everything he said. "Are you hiding from the people of that world?" Lin Feng took a deep breath and asked. The world he was talking about was the world where the mastermind lived. The mastermind had launched one world-ending battle after another. The mastermind had lived for who knew how many epochs, but Lin Feng still didn't know what kind of existence they were. Or were they the creator? Or creators? Lin Feng didn't know if they were creators, but he couldn't rule out the possibility. If they really were creators, then Lin Feng really wanted to curse those bastards. Those bastards were too much of a scammer, weren't they? They created worlds, then destroyed them, causing countless life forms to die tragically. Was that fun? The golden silkworm ruler obviously knew what Lin Feng was talking about. He said, "There are some things that you should know. There's no need to say them out loud, especially now." Lin Feng said, "Do you think you can survive by hiding in the terminus zones? If you can come in, why can't those guys come in as well? If they chase you into the terminus zones, won't you still die?" The terminus zones hide a huge secret. It's the only pure land, and the only place the people of that world don't dare to enter. There's such a thing? A look of disbelief appeared on Lin Feng's face. What the golden silkworm ruler had just said was simply too shocking. Of course, Lin Feng knew that the death danger zone was very scary. However, Lin Feng believed that the death danger zone was scary because of the various restrictions, space-time powers, and the existence of the death danger zone's creatures. But now, it seemed that he had underestimated the situation. The greatest secret of the land of death was not the creatures of the land of death, but something else. It did sound a little ridiculous, but since it was golden silkworm hegemon who said it, Lin Feng didn't doubt it. What kind of secret is hidden in the land of death? Why are those existences so scared that they don't even dare to enter? Lin Feng took a deep breath and asked. Hegemon golden silkworm said, "These secrets must be astonishing, but alas, I was unable to uncover the secrets of the banished abyss." There was a saying, "If we can uncover the secrets of the land of death, it will be an unimaginable opportunity." The existences hiding in the land of death should be able to undergo another transformation, Lin Feng said in disbelief. "Even an expert like you can't uncover the secrets of the danger zone?" "That's right." Golden silkworm hegemon couldn't help but sigh helplessly. Lin Feng said, "I heard that the creatures of the land of death are restricted by the laws of the land of death, so they can't casually enter or leave the land of death. It wasn't until the great upheaval of the world that the laws of the land of death underwent some changes that some of the creatures were able to leave the land of death." Why were the creatures of the land of death unable to leave the land of death before this? This was a question that had been bothering Lin Feng. Lin Feng had always been puzzled by it. Now that he was facing golden silkworm hegemon, Lin Feng could finally ask the question, "Do you know that there is a price to pay for everything? Hiding in the land of death in search of hope for survival also requires a price." Golden silkworm hegemon said, "Pay a price." Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. Indeed, there was nothing in the world that could be gained without sowing. So many creatures had died, but the creatures hiding in the land of death had survived. How could they not pay a price? However, Lin Feng didn't know what kind of price they had to pay. Most likely, the price they had to pay must be extremely heavy, right? That was something he could imagine. Golden silkworm hegemon said, "There are many things that I can't explain to you clearly right now. The 5 signs of celestial decay have appeared, and the creatures of the land of death have been able to leave. However, not all of them will leave, and not all of them are willing to do so. What you need to do now is raise your cultivation base. Now that the world has changed, there are opportunities everywhere. Make good use of these opportunities and find a way to survive until the next era. That's the most important thing. There is no hope for this era, but perhaps there will be hope for the next era." Golden silkworm hegemon was filled with pessimism. The stronger one was, the more they understood. And the more they understood, the easier it was for them to become pessimistic. Lin Feng asked, "Why don't we give it a try? Perhaps this era won't be destroyed. In the end, those detestable fellows will be the ones to be destroyed. Give it a try?" Golden silkworm hegemon laughed bitterly, then said, "If you know anything about the history of your ancestors, you should know that many of them died because they wanted to give it a try. Back then, their morale was high, and they died with no regrets. But even now, is there anyone who still has such a strong will to fight back? I really can't be sure about that." Lin Feng felt rather helpless. Perhaps the repeated failures had long since wiped away the will to fight from those ancient and powerful cultivators. It did sound rather sorrowful. They wanted to awaken the will to fight that had long since been wiped away. Just how difficult was that? Lin Feng naturally understood this very well. Perhaps this era would be destroyed just like the other eras that had come before it. This wasn't something Lin Feng wanted to see happen. However, such a situation was unavoidable. Golden silkworm hegemon said, "I still need to sleep for a while. Before that, I have something to give you." "Something to give me? What is it?" Lin Feng looked at Golden silkworm hegemon in astonishment. He hadn't expected Golden silkworm hegemon to have something to give him. Lin Feng couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. For someone as powerful as Golden silkworm hegemon to give him something, it had to be extremely shocking, right? "It's something that belonged to your ancestor, the heaven-devouring devil emperor." Golden silkworm hegemon said, "Something that belonged to my ancestor?" Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. He wondered what precious thing his ancestor had left behind. Swish! Light flashed, and something appeared in Golden silkworm hegemon's hand. Chapter 4250. It was a jade tablet the size of a palm. Upon seeing it, Lin Feng's heart skipped a beat. He could sense that this jade tablet was no ordinary tablet. Otherwise, Golden silkworm ruler would not have taken it out at this time. This jade pendant was refined by the heaven-devouring demon emperor. Back then, before the heaven-devouring demon emperor left, he gave this jade pendant to me. He said that if I were to meet his descendants one day, he hoped that I would pass this jade pendant to them. Fortunately, I really met his descendants, Golden silkworm ruler said with relief. However, when he thought of his old friend, he felt a little sad. "What secret is hidden in this jade tablet?" Lin Feng asked. "The jade tablet is the key to entering the heaven-devouring secret realm. The heaven-devouring secret realm is a secret realm refined by the heaven-devouring devil emperor. You should know something about him, right? In the past, he refined the heaven-devouring jar, which specializes in devouring treasures in the world. These treasures were all placed in the heaven-devouring secret realm by the heaven-devouring devil emperor. I've heard that there aren't even ancient weapons," Golden silkworm ruler said. Upon hearing this, Lin Feng could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. That ancestor of his was really awesome. The treasures he had collected were truly astonishing. If he could obtain those treasures, wouldn't he wake up laughing in his dreams? Of course, the treasures in the heaven-devouring secret realm are only some of the things left behind by the heaven-devouring devil emperor. I'm guessing that there's a way to continue awakening your bloodline, as well as some top-tier inheritances, including some from your clan. In fact, I've heard that the sovereign clan is hiding a huge secret. However, this secret is unknown to outsiders. Perhaps you'll be able to find out what it is in the heaven-devouring secret realm, Golden silkworm ruler said and handed the jade tablet to Lin Feng. Lin Feng gripped the jade tablet tightly. The jade tablet was very important to him, and it was very important to him. Lin Feng asked, "Senior, do you know where the heaven-devouring secret realm is?" "I'm not sure about that, but the secret should be in the jade pendant. Study it carefully. If the secret is not in the jade pendant, I feel that the jade pendant can sense the existence of the sky-devouring secret realm within a certain range. Since the sky-devouring evil emperor left this jade pendant, his descendants will definitely find the sky-devouring secret realm. It's only a matter of time, so you don't have to worry about not being able to find the sky-devouring secret realm," Hegemon Golden Silkworm said. "Thank you, Senior." Lin Feng cupped his fists and said, "All right, you may leave." I hope that we will have a chance to meet again in the future, Hegemon Golden Silkworm said. Junior also hopes to see Senior again in the future. Junior will take his leave now, Lin Feng said. Then, he left. The cycle of time, the 6 paths of reincarnation. I wonder what kind of world will it be when this era ends. 3,000 eras have passed. The cycle of eras has come to an end. After Lin Feng left, the golden silkworm overlord sighed. Then, he turned into a golden silkworm again and lay on the mulberry tree's leaf. Lin Feng met up with Immortal Feather Spirit outside. Immortal Feather Spirit sent Lin Feng out of the banished abyss. Are you going to leave? Immortal Feather Spirit asked. Yes, I plan to go to the undying world. What about you? Will you continue to stay in the banished abyss? Or will you go out to look for your parents? Lin Feng could not help but ask. Lin Feng wondered if his ancestor, the sky-devouring evil emperor, knew Immortal Feather Spirit's parents. After all, the golden silkworm overlord and his ancestor, the sky-devouring evil emperor, were sworn brothers. If that was the case, it was only natural that Immortal Feather Spirit's parents and his ancestor, the sky-devouring evil emperor, knew each other. I plan to look for my parents, Immortal Feather Spirit said. I hope you can find them. I hope we can meet again in the future, Lin Feng said to Immortal Feather Spirit with a smile. Immortal Feather Spirit smiled and said, I hope your journey will be smooth. Then, the two parted ways. Lin Feng returned to Longmen City. There would always be parting in life. This was something that could not be avoided. When everyone found out that Lin Feng was leaving, all sorts of feelings welled up in their hearts. They were extremely reluctant to part with him. This was especially true for the few women who adored Lin Feng. They were even more reluctant to part with him. However, they also knew that Lin Feng was destined to go to a more powerful world. They needed to continuously raise their cultivation bases. Only then would they be able to go to a more powerful world one day to look for Lin Feng. Lin Feng stayed in Longmen City for a month. Then, he left the banished world. The ancient starship, Xianyuan, flew quickly in the starry world. Lin Feng was seated cross-legged in the Xianyuan ancient ship and practicing cultivation. Suddenly, Lin Feng opened his eyes. Swish. Then, a light flashed in his hand. An item flew out. The item that flew out was none other than the mysterious and ancient compass that Lin Feng had obtained previously. This compass was called the Heart Compass. Rumor had it that the Heart Compass could show the direction of one's thoughts. Of course, Lin Feng did not know whether this rumor was true or not. In fact, he had always had doubts. Previously, the Heart Compass was like a broken compass. It could not move at all. But now, the needle of the Heart Compass actually moved on its own. Swoosh! The needle of the Heart Compass moved extremely quickly. This was the first time Lin Feng had seen such a situation. He did not know what was going on with the Heart Compass. Why did it move so quickly at this time? The Heart Compass has changed. What is going on? Lin Feng frowned. He was puzzled. The change of the Heart Compass made him feel that this matter was definitely not simple. Perhaps the rumor was true? Was the Heart Compass really a heaven-defying treasure? Thinking of this, Lin Feng could not help but feel excited. About 15 minutes later, the needle of the Heart Compass stopped moving. The Heart Compass returned to its original state. I want to go to the undying world. Tell me the way, Lin Feng said. However, the Heart Compass still did not move. F***CK. It returned to its original state. Lin Feng could not help but roll his eyes. Rumble, rumble, rumble. At this moment, numerous huge ancient starry sky ships flew toward Lin Feng's Xianyuan ancient starry sky ship. There were a total of 9 ancient starry sky ships. These ancient starry sky ships surrounded Lin Feng's Xianyuan ancient starry sky ship. Lin Feng also noticed the situation outside and could not help but frown. In the starry sky world, people would often kill and snatch treasures. Could it be that these ancient starry sky ships had surrounded his Xianyuan ancient starry sky ship for the same reason? A tall and sturdy cultivator with a ferocious face walked out of one of the ancient starry sky ships. The person inside, come out. The cultivator looked at the Xianyuan ancient starry sky ship and shouted coldly. Chapter 42:51. Lin Feng walked out of the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. He looked at the burly cultivator and said, "Why are you making such a big fuss? What's wrong?" 9 ancient starry sky ships are surrounding this young master's ancient starry sky ship. Do you want to rob this young master? The burly cultivator said coldly, "It's good that you know. We have a rule. If you cooperate and hand over your treasures, you can still live. If you don't, not only will your treasures be taken away by us, your life will also be taken by us." TSK. I'm afraid you don't have that ability. Lin Feng curled his lips. The burly cultivator flew into a rage. In his opinion, Lin Feng refused a toast only to drink a forfeit. "Kid, we gave you a chance to live, but you didn't cherish it. Don't blame us for being ruthless." The burly cultivator sneered at Lin Feng. Then, he waved his hand. The spirit stone cannons on the 9 ancient starry sky ships were ignited. Boom, boom, boom. Then, a dense barrage of spirit stone cannons flew toward the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. The spirit stone cannons were one of the common means of attack of the ancient starry sky ships. Although it was a common means, it was very powerful. It couldn't be underestimated. Those who dared to underestimate the power of the spirit stone cannons naturally wouldn't have a good ending. When the dense barrage of spirit stone cannons arrived, they all bombarded the defensive restrictions of the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. Then, the dense barrage of spirit stone cannons exploded. However, the powerful energy generated by the explosion of the spirit stone cannons, it couldn't destroy the defensive restrictions of the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. The immortal runes on the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship began to gradually recover. The defensive restrictions integrated with the immortal runes were too powerful. It wasn't something that the spirit stone cannons could destroy in a short time. Lin Feng issued an order to the humanoid puppet on the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship to attack. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, huge spirit stone cannons were fired. The spirit stone cannons on the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship were the most powerful spirit stone cannons. The power of the giant spirit stone cannonball was many times greater than that of an ordinary spirit stone cannonball. When the huge spirit stone cannonballs landed on the defensive formations of the 9 ancient starships, a huge amount of spirit stone cannonballs appeared. The giant spirit stone cannonballs exploded one after another. An earth-shattering power suddenly erupted. The destructive power instantly shattered the defensive restrictions on the ancient starry sky ships. Compared to the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship, the surrounding ancient starry sky ships were simply too inferior. Boom, boom, boom. The Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship continued to shoot out giant spirit stone cannonballs one after another. The power of these cannonballs was just too terrifying. One after another, huge spirit stone cannonballs smashed into the 9 ancient starships. The giant spirit stone cannonballs directly exploded, blasting the ancient starry sky ships into pieces. Many giant spirit stone cannonballs even directly penetrated the hull of the ancient starship and then fell into the cabin of the ship. Next, the spirit stone cannons suddenly exploded. Miserable screams rang out one after another. Many cultivators were blasted to death. "Hurry up and get out." Shocked and angry voices rang out from the ancient starry sky ships. Naturally, they did not dare to continue staying in the ancient starry sky ships. The space inside was simply too small. If the giant spirit stone cannonballs fell into the ship, they would become living targets with no way to dodge. At that time, they would all die without a burial place. However, as soon as those cultivators rushed out of the cabin, a large number of giant spirit stone cannonballs flew over once again. Then, they landed in the middle of the crowd. Boom, boom, boom. Along with the sound of a violent explosion, the sound of the explosion was suddenly heard. The giant spirit stone cannonballs exploded one after another. The cultivators who had just rushed out of the cabin and did not even have the time to take a few breaths of fresh air outside. They were directly turned into ashes by the explosion of the giant spirit stone cannonballs. The cultivators on the 9 ancient starry sky ships had suffered heavy casualties. Those cultivators felt hatred in their hearts. They had only hijacked a small ancient starry sky ship. Yet, they had suffered such heavy losses. They did not dare to imagine such an outcome. In the past, when they had supported many fleets, their losses were far less severe than now. The 9 ancient starry sky ships quickly flew away, trying to increase the distance between them and the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. The giant spirit stone cannons on the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship continuously shot out giant spirit stone cannonballs. The densely packed giant spirit stone cannons landed on the fleeing ancient starry sky ships. Many of the fleeing ancient starry sky ships were eventually blasted into pieces. Only a small number of cultivators managed to escape with their lives. The rest died when the ancient starry sky ship exploded and became the burial objects of the ancient starry sky ship. Of the 9 ancient starry sky ships, 3 managed to escape. The remaining 6 ancient starry sky ships were completely destroyed. Even the 3 ancient starry sky ships that managed to escape had suffered heavy casualties. A woman with long blonde hair walked out of the largest ancient ship in the starry sky. She had an extremely tall and slender figure. Moreover, her height was simply too tall. That woman's height had actually reached 1.8 meters. She was even taller than many men. This golden-haired woman had a beautiful face. It was an ice-cold face. At this moment, the woman was coldly looking at Lin Feng, who was on the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. Big miss. When the woman walked out, everyone saluted her. The woman looked at Lin Feng with eyes that flashed with dense killing intent. Who are you to be able to cause our God Extermination mercenary band to suffer such heavy losses? Lin Feng said indifferently, It doesn't matter who I am. However, can you guys be a little more shameless? So what if you're an interstellar bandits? You actually have the nerve to call yourselves the God Extermination mercenary band. You really live up to the saying, shameless people are invincible under the heavens. You. When the woman heard Lin Feng's mocking words, her voice faltered. Her expression turned even uglier. The woman looked coldly at Lin Feng and said, Do you think you can strut around with just this ancient starry sky ship? If that's what you think, then you're gravely mistaken. Let's see how you die later. As soon as the woman finished speaking, she waved her hand. Asterisk whoosh whoosh whoosh. Asterisk more than 10 cultivators flew out. These cultivators, each of them took out a huge imperial beast pouch. The cultivators opened the imperial beast pouches. Countless poisonous insects flew out of the dozens of imperial beast pouches. There were all kinds of poisonous insects in the pouches. They blotted out the sky and covered the earth as they flew toward the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. Chapter 42:52. When he saw those insect swarms, Lin Feng couldn't help but reveal an astonished expression. Those insect swarms. There were at least dozens of different insect swarms. Some of the smaller swarms had hundreds of thousands of insects, while some of the larger swarms had hundreds of millions of insects. It was truly shocking and moving. Lin Feng had raised 2 insect swarms, as well as the primordial ancestral insect and the emperor archaic. As for the 2 insect swarms, the primordial ancestral insect and the emperor archaic, they had made many miraculous contributions. Therefore, Lin Feng knew about the terrifying might of insect swarms. After the overwhelming swarm of insects flew over, they could devour everything cleanly, leaving nothing behind. It was simply a disaster. That golden-haired woman had also raised insect swarms. Moreover, she had raised so many different types of insect swarms. It seemed that this woman had tasted the benefits of raising insect swarms. Therefore, she had raised such a large number of insect swarms. Everyone looked at Lin Feng with indifferent gazes. In the eyes of the God Extermination mercenary group, facing the attack of the insect swarms, Lin Feng would die without a doubt. There was no possibility of resisting the insect swarms. The dense insect swarms completely surrounded the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. Then, the insect swarms began to gnaw at the defensive light cover condensed by the ancient starry sky ship's defensive restrictions. As the insect swarms gnawed at it, the defensive light cover covering the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship began to thin. Lin Feng stood on the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. Looking at the dense insect swarms, he couldn't help but frown. The insect swarms raised by the golden-haired woman were truly quite powerful. If some more time passed, the defensive restrictions of the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship might really be destroyed. Between all things, mutually reinforcing and mutually restraining. This was an eternal and unchanging truth. The insect swarms restrained the defensive restrictions of Lin Feng's Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He directly summoned the primordial ancestral insect, the Emperor Archaic, the primordial demon refining insect swarms, and the immortal devouring insect swarms. The primordial ancestral insect, Emperor Archaic, was one of the most powerful insect life forms. Therefore, other insect-type creatures were oppressed due to the difference in life level. When the primordial ancestral insect and Emperor Archaic appeared, the insect swarm surrounding the Xinyuan immediately became chaotic. Many of the insects were frightened and began to retreat, not daring to get too close to the archaic ancestral insect and Emperor Archaic. Only some of the stronger insect swarms dared to approach the archaic ancestral worm and the Emperor Archaic. At this time, the primordial ancestral insect, Emperor Archaic, chaos fiend refining insect, and immortal devouring insect swarms attacked the remaining insect swarms. The two waves of Zerg swarms immediately engaged in a fierce battle, and it was difficult to tell who was winning. Young mistress, that brat on the ancient ship has also reared a swarm of insects, and the level of his insects seems to be even higher, one of the cultivators said with an ugly expression. In fact, it was easy to tell that the insects raised by Lin Feng were better than the insects raised by the blonde woman, because the number of insects raised by Lin Feng was much lower than the number of insects raised by the blonde woman. Even though many of the insects had left the battlefield due to the archaic ancestral insect and Emperor Archaic's intimidation. However, the blonde woman's swarm still had the absolute advantage in terms of numbers. However, the number of insects raised by Lin Feng was much lower. They were actually evenly matched with the blonde woman's swarm. It was obvious that the level of the insects raised by Lin Feng was higher than the price. Who is this guy? I'm afraid he kicked an iron plate today. The blonde woman's expression was very ugly. She had dominated this starry sky world for many years. She had encountered many troublesome people. However, as long as she summoned her insect swarm, she would be able to deal with them in the end. However, at Lin Feng's place, the blonde woman was deflated. This made the blonde woman very depressed and infuriated. The blonde woman's expression became very ugly. At this time, under the lead of the archaic ancestral insect and Emperor Archaic, the great desolate demon refining insect and the celestial devouring insect swarms began to take the initiative in the battle. The archaic ancestral insect and Emperor Archaic were too powerful. Every time they attacked, they would be able to destroy a large number of insects, especially the Emperor Archaic, with a flap of his wings. A large area of the void collapsed. Following the collapse of the void, a large number of insects were swallowed by the shattered space and time. Young miss, that brat's insect swarm is too powerful. It seems that we are really going to suffer a big loss. Let's hurry up and retreat, otherwise, the situation will not be good. A cultivator hurriedly said, "Recall the insect swarm and leave quickly." The blonde woman said somewhat unwillingly. This was her first failure, and it was a crushing defeat. This made her unable to let go. However, she was unable to do anything to Lin Feng. The insect swarm was quickly recalled, and then the remaining 3 starry sky ancient ships quickly flew into the distance. They chose to scatter and escape. Lin Feng locked onto the blonde woman's starry sky ancient ship and chased after it. As for the cultivators on the other 2 starry sky ancient ships, they were only small fries and insignificant. Lin Feng was too lazy to pay attention to these small fries. "Western miss, don't go. I think the 2 of us can sit down and have a good talk," Lin Feng said with a smile. "Western miss?" Hearing how Lin Feng addressed her, the blonde woman immediately gnashed her teeth in anger. Although she was tall, her body was very slender and slender. As for Western miss, it usually referred to those women who were taller and had a larger frame. The blonde woman did not like the way Lin Feng addressed her. She even hated it. However, the blonde woman did not say anything. She ordered the crew to push the starry sky ancient ship to the limit. She hoped to shake off Lin Feng's Xinyuan starry sky ancient ship. However, Soon, she discovered that the distance between them was not increasing. Instead, it was shrinking. Lin Feng's Xinyuan Starry Sky ancient ship was simply too fast. Kid, our young miss is a member of the Tong clan of the God-slaying Starfield. Moreover, our young Mrs. fiancé is Di Juetyin, a direct descendant of the Dao Saint Palace. Young Master Di Juetyin is a top expert of the Dao Saint Palace's younger generation. Moreover, young Master Di Juetyin controls the 10th-ranked Heavenly Fire, the Azure Dragon True Fire. I'm sure you've heard of the Dao Saint Palace. That palace is closely related to the Heaven Realm. If you know what's good for you, you'd better leave quickly. Otherwise, you won't have a good ending. At this moment, a cultivator shouted. He used the blonde woman's identity and her fiancé's identity to intimidate Lin Feng. He hoped to scare Lin Feng away. When Lin Feng heard the cultivator's words, he couldn't help but be astonished. The blonde woman's fiancé, Di Juetyin, controls the Azure Dragon True Fire? Wasn't this guy the one he saw in the ancient battlefield? Chapter 42-53. The Dao Saint Palace was a terrifying power, and it was still as powerful as ever. It was said that the celestial race was the one who controlled the core legacy. It was the same as the celestial race in the undying world. The surname Di was a common surname in the celestial race. Therefore, the Dao Saint Palace's core legacy was also surnamed Di. Of course, it didn't matter if they had the same surname. For example, there were many people with the surname Wang. Could they be relatives? There were many people with the surname Zhou as well. Could they be relatives as well? Naturally, that wasn't the case. So, you're Di Juetyin's fiancé. Did you know that Di Juetyin has an expert by his side called Zhang Qian? Lin Feng said indifferently. Zhang Qian? The group was stunned. They naturally knew who Zhang Qian was. Zhang Qian was Di Juetyin's trusted aide. Lin Feng continued. Di Juetyin sent Zhang Qian to kill me, but I killed him instead. Di Juetyin provoked me, so he's dead. Doesn't he have the Azure Dragon True Fire? Great. I also want his Azure Dragon True Fire. Do you think I'll be afraid of Di Juetyin if you use him to threaten me? As for that so-called Tong clan, that's even more hilarious. I've never even heard of them. I don't even know what kind of small clan they are. How dare they mention them in front of me? Boom, boom, boom. As soon as Lin Feng finished speaking, the huge spirit stone cannons on the ancient starship once again shot out huge spirit stone cannons one after another. The giant spirit stone cannonballs chased after the ancient starry sky ship with lightning speed. As for the ancient ship in front of him, it swept out divine runes one after another. Some divine runes swept across the huge spirit stone cannons, causing them to explode. However, not all the huge spirit stone cannons were blocked. Many huge spirit stone cannons managed to pierce through the divine runes. Then, they landed on the ancient starship. Following that, they exploded. A heaven-destroying, earth-shattering power swept through the entire ancient starship. The cultivators on the ancient starship were sent flying out of the ancient starship in a sorry state. However, before most of them could even leave the ancient starship, they were drowned by the energy from the explosions. They died one after another. Only a small number of people managed to escape. "Stop that brat," the blonde woman said in a deep voice. She wanted her subordinates to stop Lin Feng so that she could escape. Someone said, "Eldest young mistress, now that a disaster is upon us, let's just fly separately." That's right, that's right. Every single one of us can escape. Moreover, this person's target should be young Mississippi. We are just small fries. Even if we escape, he won't chase after us. Another person said. Following that, the group of cultivators dispersed and fled without a trace. Only the golden-haired woman was left. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng couldn't help but reveal an astonished expression. Aren't these people too disloyal? He directly abandoned his master and fled for his life. Such behavior. What a shameless thing to do. Lin Feng flew down from the Xinyuan ancient starship and put it away. Then, he walked towards the golden-haired woman. Lin Feng said, "It seems like your subordinates aren't very loyal to you. At the critical moment, they chose to flee for their lives. Are you really going to kill them all?" The golden-haired woman looked at Lin Feng with an ugly expression. Lin Feng said, "No, no, no. Of course not. It would be a pity to kill you. I'm very interested in keeping a female slave like you." The golden-haired woman turned around and fled. Her speed was very fast. It seemed like she had some magic treasures on her that could increase her speed. However, Lin Feng's speed was also very fast. The golden-haired woman couldn't shake off Lin Feng. "Don't you go too far," the golden-haired woman said angrily. Lin Feng sneered. "I'm going too far? So what if I'm going to bully you? If I'm not as strong as you, I would be the one dead by now, right? Since you formed such an interstellar bandit group in the starry sky world, you must have killed and robbed a lot of people, right? When you kill others and rob others of their treasures, have you ever thought of the words going too far? Perhaps we can negotiate. You have a grudge against Dijuetian, right? Although I don't know what happened between the two of you, since there's a grudge between the two of you, I'm sure you want to kill Dijuetian, right? I can help you kill Dijuetian. What do you think?" The golden-haired woman said. After hearing the golden-haired woman's words, Lin Feng couldn't help but mock her. A woman's heart is really the most vicious. She can even betray her own fiancé without hesitation. How ruthless. What fiancé? My family only agreed to the marriage because of the pressure from the Dao Saint Palace. Do you think Dijuetian really likes me? Of course not. Of course he doesn't like me. He has countless women by his side. He likes me because I have the 9 yin body and he has the 9 yang body. As the saying goes, yin and yang complement each other. I'm very important to him, so he used the Dao Saint Palace to put pressure on the Tong family. Although I objected to it before, it was useless. If I insist on not agreeing, then my family will be implicated when the time comes. But now, I see a way to get rid of Dijuetian. As long as I kill him, everything will be settled once and for all. I'll regain my freedom while you kill your enemy and obtain the Azure Dragon Primordial Fire. What do you think of this suggestion? The golden-haired woman asked. Do you think I'll believe your words? Lin Feng sneered. The golden-haired woman said, Everything I said is the truth. I can even swear on my family. Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. The golden-haired woman continued, I know you're very strong, but no matter how strong you are, you can't underestimate Dijuetian. He's a celestial tribe cultivator with great talent. Moreover, he has a respected position in the Dao Saint Palace. So, whenever he goes out, he'll have subimmortal experts following him. I also heard that he can communicate with the Dao Saint Palace's ancient weapon, the Heavenly Infinite Diagram. He can obtain the blessing of the Heavenly Infinite Diagram's power. If he gets the support of the Infinite Diagram of the Heavenly Way, his combat strength will soar to a terrifying level. Of course, although Dijuetian is incomparably powerful and can even communicate with ancient weapons, he is not without flaws. And I know what this guy's flaw is. If we join forces, we will definitely be able to kill him. Chapter 42-54. The golden-haired woman wanted to join forces with Lin Feng to kill Dijuetian. Lin Feng was quite tempted by her suggestion. After all, she knew where Dijuetian's weakness was. Moreover, she could sneak attack Dijuetian during a real battle. There was no need to be courteous when dealing with someone like Dijuetian. No matter what method he used to deal with Dijuetian, he would have a clear conscience. What's your name? Lin Feng narrowed his eyes as he looked at the golden-haired woman. The golden-haired woman's appearance was a little strange. Of course, it was not that she was ugly. She was extremely beautiful, but her features were similar to those of the Western universe. Perhaps she had the bloodline of that world? It was hard to say. The golden-haired woman said, My name is Tong Yali. Why? Are you agreeing to join forces with me? Hee. Lin Feng grinned and said, I heard that the 9-yin body is an extreme yin body. Such a body is one of the top cultivation cauldrons. Am I right? Tong Yali looked at Lin Feng coldly and said, What's wrong? What are you trying to do? Lin Feng smiled and said, Look at what you're saying. I'm a gentleman. Why would I be planning anything? Let me tell you clearly, I've taken a liking to you. Why don't you become my woman? Lin Feng was very straightforward. He did not try to hide anything. Tong Yali sneered and said, In your dreams. if you're willing to cooperate. If you don't want to join forces with me, then I'll die. I'd rather die in battle than submit. TSK, TSK. I didn't expect you to be so hot-tempered. Lin Feng smiled and said, Fine, I agree to work with you. However, I still don't know where Dijuetian is. I know where he is. He's on the Fox Demon Planet, said Tong Yali. Fox Demon Planet? What is that place? Lin Feng asked doubtfully. The Demon Fox Star is a star in our god-destroying star field. There are a few fox spirits on it. Those fox spirits are Dijuetian's lovers. Tong Yali said with a sneer. Lin Feng said, What? You even sent someone to investigate Dijuetian's whereabouts? Tong Yali said, Of course not. He's so high-profile. Why would he need someone to investigate him? Many people know that he has come to the god-slaying starfield. TSK, TSK. Looks like this fellow is also a sentimental person. Lin Feng said, I don't care if he's affectionate or not, but I can't marry him. He's coveting my Ninine body. If I marry him, won't I die? Tong Yali's eyes suddenly flashed with killing intent. Lin Feng said, Nine Yang and Ninine, the cycle of yin and yang. What a good dual cultivation physique. If husband and wife are in love, perhaps both of their cultivations will be greatly improved. Tong Yali said with a sneer, Directly devouring the primordial yin energy in the other party's body will increase my cultivation even more. I like to control my fate in my own hands, not in the hands of others. What a coincidence. I'm also someone who likes to control my own fate. However, you can really consider me. I'm not only young and promising, but I'm also very loyal to love. You'll definitely be very happy if you become my woman, Lin Feng said. After hearing Lin Feng's words, the demon lord in the demonic pearl couldn't help but roll his eyes. However, the demon lord was already used to Lin Feng's shamelessness. Lin Feng was someone who liked to talk to people and talk to ghosts. Of course, Tong Yali didn't believe Lin Feng's words at all. She replied indifferently, If you want to pursue me, then show me your sincerity. Don't just rely on your mouth. Lin Feng said with a smile, Of course I won't just rely on my mouth. Just wait and see. You'll soon see my sincerity. Along the way, Lin Feng would tease Tong Yali whenever he had time. He would often tease Tong Yali until her face turned red. Shameless, scum. When Tong Yali was extremely ashamed and angry, she would say these two words. And Lin Feng was extremely happy with these two words. That's right. He was shameless. He was scum. Lin Feng had always admitted this point. Living in this world. Live freely and freely. Live with yourself. Don't restrict yourself. Enjoy what you need to enjoy. To put it bluntly, the world extermination battle might arrive soon. At that time, no one dared to say that they would be able to survive. Since that was the case, naturally, he should enjoy life well. Only in this way would he not waste his good years. Half a month later, Lin Feng and Tong Yali arrived at the Demon Fox Planet. The Demon Fox Planet was a planet ruled by the Demon Fox race. The most beautiful demon foxes had all become Dijuetian's mistresses. However, the other demon foxes were actually very beautiful as well. The Demon Fox Planet was very lively, and the Demon Fox City built by the Demon Fox race was even more crowded. The Demon Fox race knew how to charm, and the women that the Demon Fox transformed into were all naturally charming. They were all peerless beauties. Therefore, many people wanted to find a woman from the Demon Fox race to be their wife or concubine. The Demon Fox race, on the other hand, preferred to rely on the strong. Therefore, the female cultivators of the Demon Fox race also preferred to rely on the strong. Therefore, if they met an expert who was pleasing to the eye, they would most likely follow him. Lin Feng and Tong Yali arrived at the Demon Fox City. Lin Feng could not help but ask, Could it be that Dijuetian and his mistresses live here? Tong Yali said, One of the mansions here is indeed one of the places where they meet privately. Let's go take a look tonight. If they aren't here, we'll go somewhere else to look. I know of a more secretive place. If they aren't here, they might be in that secretive place. However, as far as I know, Dijuetian would often meet with his mistresses in the Demon Fox City. All right, let's go take a look tonight. It's not even morning yet. Let's find a place to rest first, Lin Feng said. Tong Yali nodded. The two of them walked on the streets. Lin Feng discovered that there were many young girls on the streets. Most of the young girls were surrounded by cultivators. Those young girls were obviously transformed from fox spirits. They should be the female cultivators of the demon fox race. Lin Feng and Tong Yali found a relatively high-end inn and rented a separate courtyard to rest. The two of them returned to their respective rooms. Not long after he laid down, he heard banging sounds coming from outside. Lin Feng got up and went outside. When he opened the courtyard door, he saw an enchanting and charming woman standing outside. This woman was actually a woman of the demon fox race. Chapter 42:55. Yo, I saw a beauty knocking on my door the moment I opened it. Beauty, what's the matter? Are you here to look for me? Lin Feng looked at the woman with a faint smile. She was indeed very beautiful. Even among the fox demons, she would be considered a top-notch beauty. The woman said, I'm here to look for Tong Yali. Who are you? Why are you with Tong Yali? The fox demon woman looked at Lin Feng suspiciously. Lin Feng felt very uncomfortable under the woman's gaze. He had no idea what she was thinking. Lin Feng asked, Who are you? Do I have to answer you just because you asked me? The woman said with a faint smile, Tong Yali's fiancé is Dijuetyin, a direct descendant of the Dao Saint Palace. You actually dared to have a secret rendezvous with Tong Yali. You're too bold. Do you know what the consequences will be if Dijuetyin finds out about this? What consequences? Lin Feng pursed his lips, a look of disdain on his face. Of course, he did not deny that he had a secret rendezvous with Tong Yali. It was the woman who had misunderstood, not Lin Feng. The woman said, He will kill you. Kill me? What a joke. You think I'm afraid of that guy killing me? He's just a mere Dijuetyin. I don't care about him at all. Lin Feng said indifferently. The woman sneered. Do you know how powerful Dijuetyin is? If you brag too much, you'll end up slapping yourself in the face. Lin Feng said with a smile. Of course I know how powerful Dijuetyin is. In your eyes, Dijuetyin might be a big shot that you can't afford to offend, but in my eyes, Dijuetyin is just a clown. Lin Feng's words were too arrogant. The woman could not help but frown slightly. Lin Feng did not look like a reckless and arrogant person, yet he had said such words. Could it be that he really had the ability? However, Lin Feng looked a little too young, so the woman found it hard to believe that Lin Feng had the ability to deal with Dijuetyin. Lian Shi, I knew that you would soon know that I was in Demon Fox City. At this moment, Tong Yali's voice came from the courtyard. Tong Yali also heard the commotion outside and came out. To Lin Feng's surprise, Tong Yali and this Demon Fox clan female cultivator actually knew each other. Long time no see, Yali. The Demon Fox female cultivator smiled at Tong Yali. Then, the two hugged each other. Hugging each other in broad daylight? What kind of scandal is this? Lin Feng said. Go to hell. The two girls each threw a punch at Lin Feng. Lin Feng hurriedly dodged. Yali, you didn't look for me when you came to Demon Fox City. Instead, you booked a courtyard with this person. Could it be that you and him, the Demon Fox clan female cultivator, looked at Lin Feng and Tong Yali with a meaningful expression? Tong Yali rolled her eyes and said, What nonsense are you talking about? We're here to do something big. Tong Yali looked outside and said, This is not the place to talk. Let's talk inside. Lin Feng closed the courtyard door, and the three of them went to the living room. Lin Feng looked at Tong Yali and asked, Little Lily, who is this fairy? Hurry up and introduce her. Of course, it would be best if she could match us up. Tong Yali said in an annoyed tone, Not long ago, you said that you wanted to pursue me. Now, you want me to match you with another woman? As expected, it's better to believe that pigs can climb trees than to believe a man's mouth. Lin Feng said, Let's pursue her together. Let's pursue her together. It's normal for a man to have multiple wives, right? Why do I feel like smashing you into meat paste with my mace? Tong Yali said in an annoyed tone. The Demon Fox clan female cultivator said, Yali, who is this guy? Why is your mouth full of nonsense? How did you end up hanging out with such a person? The Demon Fox clan female cultivator looked at Lin Feng with disdain. Clearly, she looked down on Lin Feng. Lin Feng said with a smile. A demon fox clan female cultivator dares to say that a cultivator from another clan is indecent? This is the biggest joke I've heard in over 100 years. Ha 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 ha. You dare mock me? The demon fox clan female cultivator's eyes turned cold. It seemed that under her beautiful appearance, there was a violent heart. Tong Yali quickly stopped the demon fox clan female cultivator and said, Lien Shi, don't be angry. This guy has always been like this. Just ignore him. Then, Tong Yali looked at Lin Feng and said, Lin Gongzi, the fairy beside me is called Lien Shi. She is the vice city lord of Demon Fox City. Lin Feng was surprised. This woman's identity was not simple. To be able to become the vice city lord of Demon Fox City at such a young age, it seemed that her background was very deep. Tong Yali then introduced Lin Feng to the Demon Fox clan female cultivator. She said, This young master is called Lin Feng. He is here to kill Di Juetyin. Kill Di Juetyin? With just him alone? After hearing Tong Yali's words, the Demon Fox clan female cultivator looked at Lin Feng with disdain and contempt. Lin Feng smiled and said, That's right. With just me alone. Why? Do you think I don't have the ability to kill Di Juetyin? The Demon Fox clan female cultivator looked at Lin Feng with disdain and said, It's not that I'm looking down on you, but you have no idea how strong Di Juetyin is. Even if there are 10 of you, you might not be a match for him. This woman is really looking down on me. Lin Feng could not help but feel apprehensive. He then looked at the Demon Fox clan female cultivator and said with a smile, Why don't we make a bet? What bet? The Demon Fox clan female cultivator asked. Let's bet if I can kill Di Juetyin. How about it? Do you dare to bet with me? Lin Feng asked. Sure. Do you think I'm afraid of you? I bet that you can't kill Di Juetyin. The Demon Fox clan female cultivator said. Lin Feng said, I bet that I can kill Di Juetyin. If I can kill Di Juetyin, what will you lose to me? The Demon Fox clan female cultivator did not answer Lin Feng's question. Instead, she sneered and asked, If you can't kill Di Juetyin, what will you lose to me? Lin Feng said, How about this? If I can't kill Di Juetyin, I can impart an immortal scripture to you. If I can kill Di Juetyin, you will be my personal maid for 10 days. How about that? Tong Yali said, We're all friends. There's no need to fight. Lin Feng smiled and said, Of course I don't care. The key is what this woman thinks. The Demon Fox clan female cultivator sneered and said, I think you're the one who's afraid, right? Fine, I agree to your bet. Tong Yali rubbed her forehead when she heard that. She could not help but worry for her good friend. Chapter 42:56. Pitifully, the fox woman followed Tong Yali back to Tong Yali's room. Tong Yali asked, Why did you make that bet with him? I can tell with a single glance that he's up to no good. What will you do if you lose? Lien Shi said, It's even better if I lose. That way, I can get rid of that damnable Di Juetyin. Even if I lose, I have ways to deal with that Lin Feng brat. Lien Shi then pinched Tong Yali's chin and said, Tell me honestly, nothing happened between you and that brat, right? Tong Yali said, Of course not. I only belong to you. Pfft. Lin Feng, who had just drunk a mouthful of water, spat it out. He had used his clairaudience to eavesdrop on the conversation between Tong Yali and Lien Shi. However, wasn't the content of what he overheard a little too much? Lin Feng was extremely shocked. He had never expected something like this to happen. Life is full of surprises. Lin Feng could not help but mutter to himself. Lin Feng did not know when Lien Shi left. Lin Feng had been resting all this time. Lin Feng only woke up in the evening. He had finally gotten a good rest. It was unrealistic to want to have a good rest while traveling through space. He had to be vigilant at all times. The starry sky world was simply too dangerous. The slightest carelessness could lead to a tragic death. It was such a dangerous place. Naturally, he had to be cautious. Lin Feng met up with Tong Yali. Then, the two of them headed to Di Juetyin's residence. Di Juetyin's residence was heavily guarded. However, this level of security was nothing to Lin Feng and Tong Yali. Although the residence was protected by restrictions, those restrictions could not stop Lin Feng at all. Lin Feng easily broke through the restrictions and entered the residence. After searching for a while, they did not find Dijuetian and the fox spirits. It seems like they are not here. Follow me, Tong Yali said. Lin Feng followed Tong Yali out of Demon Fox City and entered the ancient forest outside the city. Where are we going now? Lin Feng asked. Tong Yali said, to the Jade Immortals Cave. This Jade Immortals Cave is another place where they met privately. It is said that the place was left behind by a powerful person of the Demon Fox clan. It is a sacred place for cultivation. The spiritual chi inside is abundant. Those fox spirits often go to the Jade Immortals Cave to cultivate. Since they are not in the mansion of Demon Fox City, the probability of them going to the Jade Immortals Cave is extremely high. Lin Feng nodded. He and Tong Yali traversed through the forest. Half a month later, they arrived at the entrance to the Immortal Cave abode. There were many illusion arrays outside the Jade Immortal Cave. Once a cultivator entered the illusion array, they would be completely trapped by the powerful illusion array, unable to come out. But the illusion didn't affect Lin Feng and Tong Yali at all. Of course, the main reason was that Lin Feng was too strong. And Tong Yali moved through the Immortal Cave abode as if there was no one there. This time, Dijuetian brought 2 subimmortal experts with him. However, these 2 subimmortals are not a threat at all. You go in first and argue with Dijuetian about the fox spirits. Then, take the opportunity to injure Dijuetian. That way, it'll be easier to deal with him. Lin Feng said. Tong Yali nodded and said, Dijuetian's 9-young body is very scary. It's said that once his 9-young body awakens, he can communicate with the ancient weapon. The power he receives from the ancient weapon can even be comparable to a peak loose immortal. However, I just need to use the power of 9-yin to block one of the acupuncture points on his body. Then, his body will have problems. At that time, even if he can communicate with the ancient weapon and borrow its power to fight, the power of the ancient weapon will be greatly reduced. At that time, the threat will be much smaller. Okay, we'll do that. But you have to be careful. Dijuetian is not that easy to deal with. Lin Feng reminded her. Okay, Tong Yali nodded. Then, she took out her treasured sword and rushed into the depths of the cave. Soon, Tong Yali entered the depths of the cave. This cave was divided into 3 layers. At this moment, there were more than 10 cultivators sitting cross-legged in the outermost layer of the cave. They were all cultivating. The 2 people in the lead were the 2 subimmortal experts who followed Dijuetian. Someone's coming. The 2 subimmortals opened their eyes, and their gazes turned cold. The others also opened their eyes and looked at the entrance of the passage. Whoosh! A figure rushed over. These people originally wanted to attack, but when they saw that it was Tong Yali, they immediately stopped. Young madam, the group of people bowed to Tong Yali. Tong Yali and Dijuetian were already engaged, and only the ceremony was left. After the ceremony, they would be officially married. Therefore, Dijuetian's subordinates addressed Tong Yali as young madam. If it was in the past, Tong Yali would definitely refute them. However, she did not do so today. Instead, she asked angrily, "Where's Dijuetian?" Seeing that Tong Yali was about to kill someone with her treasured sword, the group of people smiled bitterly. In their opinion, Tong Yali was obviously here to catch them in the act. You don't want to tell me, right? I'll go in and look for him personally, Tong Yali said coldly as she walked into the cave. One of the subimmortals quickly said, "Young madam, you can't. Young master is cultivating inside. He can't be disturbed. If anyone dares to stop me, I'll fight them to the death," Tong Yali said fiercely. Hearing Tong Yali's words, the group of people quickly shut their mouths. They were only subordinates. As the saying went, even an upright official would find it difficult to resolve a family matter. As subordinates, did they have the right to interfere with their master's family matters? Of course, they did not have the right. Tong Yali rushed into the depths of the cave. These people stood outside the cave and looked in. Without Dijuetian's order, they did not dare to enter the depths of the cave. At this moment, a strange energy surged into the cave. However, these people were all looking at what was happening in the depths of the cave. Therefore, they did not notice the situation at all. When the strange energy surged into their bodies, they realized that they could not move their bodies. The strange energy turned into sealing runes and sealed those cultivators. Therefore, they could not speak or move their hands. Lin Feng walked in from outside. With a wave of his hand, the power of purification surged out. The group of cultivators, including 2 subimmortal experts, were purified by Lin Feng and became his slaves. Chapter 42:57. I'll kill you vixens. Young master, save us. Young master, please save us. At this moment, Tong Yali's flustered and exasperated voice could be heard from the inside. It could also be heard crying for help from several vixens. It seemed like Tong Yali had already made her move. This woman's efficiency was quite high. Yali, what are you doing? Why aren't you stopping? Di Juetian watched the farce with a gloomy expression. Di Juetian, I don't object to you fooling around outside, but don't you dare do such things in the God Annihilation Starfield. The news is spreading like wildfire outside. Even if you're shameless, I'm not. Our Tong clan is. Tong Yali seemed to be truly furious. She screamed as she chased after the vixens with her sword. Of course, Di Juetian was indeed in the wrong. He had yet to marry Tong Yali, but he was already fooling around in the God Annihilation Starfield where the Tong clan was located. No matter what, the Tong clan was still one of the 5 great forces in the God Annihilation Starfield. It was indeed embarrassing for them. Don't listen to the rumors outside. Moreover, isn't it normal for a man to have multiple wives? Di Juetian said in a deep voice. He did not care about the Tong clan's reputation. He wanted Tong Yali because she had the 9 body. If it was not for the fact that Tong Yali had the 9 body that was extremely helpful to his cultivation, Di Juetian would only see her as his toy. Of course, even if Tong Yali would become his wife in the future. However, Tong Yali, she was only a cauldron for his cultivation. The reason why he didn't fall out with Tong Yali now was because of the Tong family. Although the Tong clan was not comparable to the Dao Saint Palace, they were still a great clan. Therefore, he still had to give them face. I'll kill these vixens. All the rumors will naturally come to an end, Tong Yali said coldly as she chased after one of the vixens. She slashed with her sword. The vixen looked like she was about to be slashed to death by Tong Yali's sword. The vixen screamed in terror. At this moment, Di Juetian appeared in front of the vixen as though he had teleported. He flicked his finger. The sword in Tong Yali's hand was repelled. Then, he grabbed at Tong Yali. Tong Yali, did I give you face? All right, since you've delivered yourself to me today, I'll take your primordial een. I'll deal with you later. Di Juetian sneered and grabbed Tong Yali with his big hand. Who would have thought that Tong Yali would actually take the initiative to lean towards Di Juetian at this moment, causing Di Juetian's grab to miss? Di Juetian could not help but mutter in his heart. What did Tong Yali mean by taking the initiative to approach him? Could it be that she wanted to throw herself at him? This woman looked pure, like a cold goddess. But in reality, there was also a restless heart. But just as these thoughts flashed through his mind, Di Juetian felt a sharp pain in his abdomen. Tong Yali's palm landed on Di Juetian's abdomen, sending him flying. If Di Juetian wasn't strong enough, he would have died. After being hit by Tong Yali's palm, Di Juetian's dantian might be crippled. Tong Yali, you slut, how dare you sneak attack me? You're courting death. Someone come. Catch her. Watch how I'll deal with this slut later. Di Juetian roared in exasperation. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The guards outside rushed into the cave abode. Young master, let's capture the young madam immediately, the 2 subimmortals said. When the group of people passed by Di Juetian, they took out their Dharma treasures and attacked him. Di Juetian did not expect his subordinates to suddenly attack him. For a moment, he could not dodge in time. However, Di Juetian's methods were still very powerful. The space around him started to distort. When the powerful Dharma treasures attacked him, most of them were blocked by the distorted space. However, the attacks of the 2 subimmortals pierced through the distorted space and landed on Di Juetian's body. Bang! Half of Di Juetian's body exploded. Di Juetian let out an incomparably shrill scream. His bloodline began to circulate. Soon, Di Juetian's expression changed. This was because when he circulated his bloodline, he realized that the power of his bloodline was greatly weakened. "You're the one who schemed against me," Di Juetian roared in anger. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he looked at Tong Yali. He knew that Tong Yali had schemed against him. The power of 9 contained in Tong Yali's palm strike was very hidden. Before he circulated his bloodline, Di Juetian did not sense it. However, after circulating his bloodline, Di Juetian sensed it. Of course, Di Juetian's bloodline power was greatly weakened. However, in reality, Di Juetian's bloodline power was still extremely powerful. Therefore, he successfully established a connection with the Dao Saint Palace's ancient weapon, the Heavenly Dao Limitless Diagram. Powerful energy poured into Di Juetian's body. "All of you must die," Di Juetian roared. He slammed his palm toward the 2 subimmortals and a dozen other cultivators. Bang, bang, bang. The cultivators' bodies directly exploded. They died on the spot, including the 2 subimmortals. They were also killed by Di Juetian's palm strike. Then, Di Juetian leaped out and slammed his palm toward Tong Yali. Di Juetian only wanted to kill these people who schemed against him. After sensing Di Juetian's terrifying palm strike, Tong Yali's face turned pale. That palm strike was too powerful. It made her feel despair. At this moment, the void trembled. Lin Feng stepped out of the void and collided with Di Juetian's palm strike. Bang! Both of their palms collided violently. The surrounding void was shattered. After the collision, Lin Feng grabbed Tong Yali's waist and pulled her into his arms. Then, he quickly retreated with Tong Yali and pulled away from Di Juetian. "It's you." When Di Juetian saw Lin Feng, his eyes turned bloodshot. Naturally, he remembered Lin Feng. Back then, Lin Feng was just a small character in his eyes. It was only when Di Juetian sent Zhang Qian to kill Lin Feng, and Zhang Qian was killed that Di Juetian knew that Lin Feng was a powerful person. Even so, Di Juetian did not take Lin Feng seriously. However, now that he was in such a miserable state, and it was all because of that insignificant opponent from back then, Di Juetian could not accept it. His body began to tremble violently. At this moment, Lin Feng was still hugging Tong Yali. Di Juetian had been coveting Tong Yali for a long time, but he had not succeeded until now. However, now that he had intimate contact with Lin Feng, Di Juetian was furious. "That's right, it's me. You didn't expect me to appear here, did you?" Lin Feng sneered. "Let go of her," Di Juetian said fiercely. "Let go? Why should I let go? Don't you know that Tong Yali has long been my woman?" Lin Feng said proudly. Tong Yali was a woman who could let go. When she heard Lin Feng's words, she even kissed Lin Feng's right cheek. Seeing this, Di Juetian was furious. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Chapter 42:58. How arrogant was Di Juetian? He was born with a noble background, powerful talent, powerful cultivation. Since he was born, he had never suffered any losses. But this time, putting aside the fact that he had suffered greatly in the hands of Lin Feng, more importantly, his fiancée had actually gotten together with Lin Feng. Although, he had used the powerful influence of the Dao Saint Palace to force his fiancée's family to agree to the engagement. It didn't matter whether his methods were despicable or not, and it didn't matter what the process was. The fact that Tong Yali was his fiancée was something that couldn't be changed. But now, his own fiancée had made him a cuckold. If it was anyone else, they would probably be furious. Moreover, Di Juetian was such an arrogant person. He couldn't accept this at all. Di Juetian was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. "Bastard couple! You bastard couple! Both of you deserve to die. Both of you deserve to die!" Di Juetian roared furiously. Lin Feng ignored Di Juetian's hysterical roar and continued speaking. "Do you know how we got together? It was a dark and windy night. I was walking on one side of the bridge, and she was walking on the other side. The moonlight shone down, and it was beautiful. We met in the middle of the bridge, and our eyes met. The man was handsome and confident, and the woman was as beautiful as a fairy. Our encounter this time was like dry wood meeting a raging fire. That scorching fire ignited in an instant. Thus, We broke through all the rules of the world and walked hand in hand to face everything. That's right. Just like that, I snuggled into his broad and powerful chest. That chest made me feel incomparably safe. Thus, the two of us began to live together, living together without shame or impatience. Tong Yali continued. After hearing Tong Yali's words, Lin Feng almost fell to the ground. Tong Yali was really too valiant. How could he say something like that? Lin Feng was so impressed that he wanted to prostrate himself in front of her. Wah! After hearing Lin Feng and Tong Yali's words, Di Jueyin suffered another blow and vomited another mouthful of blood. This guy's cultivation was, of course, quite powerful. However, this guy's mental fortitude was too weak. You all deserve to die. You all deserve to die. Di Jueyin roared furiously, his eyes emitting boundless killing intent. He charged towards Lin Feng and Tong Yali. Step back. Lin Feng waved his hand, and a soft and gentle strength surrounded Tong Yali. Then, Tong Yali was 100 meters away. Then, Lin Feng charged towards Di Jueyin. Di Jueyin was indeed very powerful, especially when he communicated with the ancient weapon, the Heavenly Tao Infinite Diagram. His battle prowess received a huge boost. However, Lin Feng wasn't weak either. Lin Feng's power fused with the power of his avatar. He was currently in peak condition. Di Jueyin was already showing signs of qi deviation due to his injuries and the anger that had attacked his heart twice. Therefore, his current battle prowess had dropped drastically. Lin Feng charged towards Di Jueyin and performed a 6 paths of reincarnation fist, blasting it towards Di Jueyin. Bang! Both parties collided with each other. The 6 paths of reincarnation fist was so powerful that it sent Di Jueyin flying. Di Jueyin was so furious that his roar shook the sky. He began to burn his blood essence. He used it to increase his battle prowess. Lin Feng looked indifferent. So what if he burned his blood essence? He would still die in the end. Lin Feng threw out a second punch. The 6 paths of reincarnation fist was an overlaying punch. Every time he threw out an additional punch, its power would increase to a whole new level. It was extremely shocking. Now, Lin Feng's second 6 paths of reincarnation fist was much more powerful than the previous one. Bang! Lin Feng and Di Jueyin collided with each other again. Di Jueyin burned his blood essence to increase his battle prowess. However, he didn't have the slightest advantage against Lin Feng's attacks. Di Jueyin, he was only on par with Lin Feng. How could this be? This is impossible. Di Jueyin could not accept it. Although he was talented and powerful, he was also very jealous. Lin Feng was so young, but the battle prowess he displayed was so powerful. Di Jueyin could not accept it. Di Jueyin was deeply jealous of Lin Feng. Di Jueyin, you're really too weak. Looks like you can't escape death today. You didn't expect to die in my hands, did you? Let me tell you a truth that will never change. There's always someone better than you. Never underestimate any cultivator in the world. Lin Feng sneered. The third punch of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist was thrown out. When the third punch of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist was thrown out, Lin Feng could clearly feel that the power of the punch had increased tremendously. The power of the third punch was even more powerful than the second punch. It was even more terrifying. Lin Feng's punch sent Di Jueyin flying. He's so powerful. Tong Yali was looking at Lin Feng in astonishment. Her heart was pounding like a tsunami. She knew how powerful Di Jueyin was. However, Di Jueyin was suppressed by Lin Feng to the point that he could not fight back at all. Moreover, Lin Feng was still so young. He was already so terrifying as a human cultivator. It was hard to imagine how powerful Lin Feng would be in the future. Even though Tong Yali was a lesbian, when Tong Yali thought about what Lin Feng had said before about courting her, Tong Yali's heart could not help but beat violently. Bang! 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 Lin Feng threw punch after punch at Di Jueyin. The power of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist was just too strong. Di Jueyin used all kinds of techniques. However, he still could not fight against Lin Feng. Moreover, many of his bones were broken by Lin Feng. Di Jueyin's situation was getting worse. Kid, how about we make peace? As long as you don't kill me, I'll agree to any of your conditions. Di Juetian shouted. He did not want to die. Although he took the initiative to ask for peace, it made the arrogant Di Juetian feel deeply humiliated. However, the most important thing was that he could survive. If I kill you, I'll be able to get what I want, Lin Feng said indifferently. If you kill me, the Dao Saint Palace will definitely know. By then, you'll definitely die. Di Juetian threatened. Do you think I'm afraid of the Dao Saint Palace? What a joke. Lin Feng sneered and threw a punch at Di Juetian's head. There was a loud bang. Di Juetian's head exploded. Chapter 4259. Dead. A genius of the generation. Di Juetian. He died just like that. The few fox spirits in the distance screamed in fright. Tong Yali couldn't help but take a deep breath after seeing this scene. Lin Feng's battle strength. It was too heaven-defying. Tong Yali had once followed her elders to the undying world. She had seen many geniuses in the undying world. Even those geniuses in the undying world, they were far from being comparable to Lin Feng. Thwoosh! At this moment, a green light flew out from Di Juetian's body. Then, that green light quickly flew into the distance. That green light. It was the green dragon true fire. The heavenly fire that was ranked 10th. How could Lin Feng let the green dragon true fire escape? The reason why he killed Di Juetian, apart from the grudge between them, was also because of the green dragon true fire. Lin Feng had refined 5 types of heavenly fire. Every time he refined a heavenly fire, it was a huge improvement to his own realm. It was a huge accumulation for him, especially for someone like Lin Feng. After refining the green dragon true fire, he would gain more benefits, said Lin Feng while waving his hand. Numerous talismans flew towards the azure dragon primordial fire at full speed. Lin Feng would definitely not let the green dragon true fire escape. If the green dragon true fire escaped, it would be a huge loss. The densely packed runes quickly caught up with the azure dragon primordial fire. Then, those runes were imprinted on the green dragon true fire. The green dragon true fire wanted to struggle, but it couldn't. In the end, it was suppressed by the runes that Lin Feng shot out. Lin Feng kept the green dragon true fire that was about to be suppressed into time and space. Now is not the time to refine the green dragon true fire. Young master, you're so strong. We sisters are willing to be your personal servants. We'll definitely serve you well. Young master, please accept us. The vixens spoke coquettishly as they flirted in front of Lin Feng, seducing Lin Feng. These fox spirits used their charming techniques, wanting to make Lin Feng fall head over heels for them. However, Lin Feng remained unmoved. He said coldly, impudent, how dare a few little foxes show off in front of me? Are you tired of living? Spare me, young master. Spare me. The fox spirits were so scared that their faces turned pale and they begged for mercy. What happened today must not be leaked, or the consequences will be unimaginable. I'll deal with these vixens, Tong Yali said. She wanted to make a move and kill a few fox spirits. Tong Yali was a ruthless woman. Otherwise, she wouldn't have formed the interstellar bandits to kill and steal. Lin Feng frowned slightly. Although Lin Feng had killed many people, Lin Feng was not a bloodthirsty person. He only killed people who deserved to be killed. He didn't kill the innocent. These fox spirits didn't do anything wrong. They just followed the wrong person. Lin Feng said, spare their lives. I'll erase their memories. That way, you won't have to worry about what happened today being leaked. Tong Yali said mockingly, why? You can't bear to kill them? They've already thrown themselves at you. You can just accept them all. Crazy. Lin Feng couldn't help but pout. Then, he erased the memories of the fox spirits and burned the corpses of the dead cultivators. He took Di Juetian and the other 2 subimmortals' origin energies and storage rings before leaving. Where do you plan to go? Tong Yali asked. Hee, I'm going to Demon Fox City, of course. There's a beauty waiting for me there. Lin Feng grinned. Oomph. Tong Yali snorted coldly. She didn't give Lin Feng any face. Lin Feng knew about the special relationship between Tong Yali and Lian Shi, so he felt that Tong Yali must be angry because of this reason. But this time, Lin Feng guessed wrong. When Lin Feng said that there was a beauty waiting for him in Demon Fox City, Tong Yali. She was actually jealous. That's right. It was jealousy. Tong Yali herself didn't know why she was so jealous. However, that was the reason why she was so jealous. Lin Feng and Tong Yali returned to Demon Fox City. Lin Feng was unable to find Lien, Shi in Demon Fox City. When Lin Feng went to the city lord's mansion to look for Lien Shi, someone handed a letter to Lin Feng. This is from the vice city lord. The cultivator who delivered the letter said. Lin Feng opened the letter. There was a line of delicate and pretty words written on it. The content was as follows. I didn't expect you to succeed. However, I've already left. Don't even think about finding me. Lin Feng smiled bitterly. A woman's promise really couldn't be trusted. Tong Yali, who was beside him, snatched the letter from Lin Feng's hand. After reading it, Tong Yali immediately laughed. She said, "It seems that someone's wishful thinking is about to fail." Lin Feng looked at Tong Yali fiercely and said, "Did you inform Lien Shi?" Tong Yali said, "I didn't. Don't accuse me wrongly." After saying that, Tong Yali took out a ball of demon fire and burned the letter to ashes. Lin Feng turned around and walked away. "Wait for me," Tong Yali said. Then, she chased after him. "Why are you following me?" Lin Feng curled his lips and said. Then, he looked up and down at Tong Yali's graceful and enchanting body and beautiful face. He said with a smile that was not a smile, "What? You don't want to be separated from me? It seems that you have fallen in love with me. How about being my woman?" Tong Yali's face turned slightly red. Then, she threw a punch at Lin Feng's face. Lin Feng did not dodge the sudden punch and was hit in the face by Tong Yali. Of course, Tong Yali's punch was not strong. After succeeding, Tong Yali turned around and ran away. She laughed and said, "Serves you right. Stinking scum. Don't let me see you again. Otherwise, I will beat you up every time I see you. Damn, tigress. Even if you give me something for free, I don't want it." Lin Feng could not help but cry out gloomily. He did not stay and quickly left Demon Fox City. Lin Feng wanted to find a place to refine the Azure Dragon Primordial Fire. He wondered how many levels of cultivation a high-grade heavenly fire like the Azure Dragon Primordial Fire could raise his cultivation. Lin Feng couldn't wait to see what would happen. After seeing Lin Feng leave, Tong Yali, on the other hand, stopped. She watched as Lin Feng gradually disappeared into the distance. She suddenly felt a sense of loss. Undying world. He wants to go to the undying world. Tong Yali bit her lips and muttered. Her beautiful eyes flickered slightly. It was unknown what she was thinking. Finally, she seemed to have made a decision. Then, a charming smile appeared on her beautiful face. Chapter 4260. Lin Feng came to a mountain forest. He opened up a cave residence in the mountain forest. Lin Feng sealed the cave residence with a restriction and then entered it. This closed-door cultivation. It was very important for Lin Feng, because Lin Feng wanted to refine the Azure Dragon True Fire, even if Lin Feng had already refined the 5 heavenly fires. However, he still had to be careful when refining the new heavenly fire, or else it was very likely that he would encounter a disaster. This was not an alarmist talk. Anyone who refined the heavenly fire had to be cautious, especially the heavenly fire that Lin Feng wanted to refine now, and it was the 10th-ranked heavenly fire. To refine such a high-level heavenly fire, one had to be extremely vigilant. The higher the level of the heavenly fire, the harder it was to refine. The higher the level of the heavenly fire, the more dangerous it was to refine it. Right now, Lin Feng was at the 3rd heavenly layer of the Emperor realm. Refining the Azure Dragon True Fire could raise his realm by 3 levels. Lin Feng was already satisfied. Because it was too difficult for him to raise his realm, Lin Feng entered the time and space. He began his closed-door cultivation to adjust his state. Before refining the heavenly fire, he had to be prepared. He could not directly swallow the heavenly fire. If he swallowed the heavenly fire without being prepared, he was afraid that he would be burned to ashes by the heavenly fire. Lin Feng spent 3 days to adjust his state to the best state. Then, Lin Feng took out 3 stalks of chilling ice grass. Once the chilling ice grass was consumed, a layer of ice would form inside the cultivator's body. This layer of ice would wrap around the cultivator's blood vessels, internal organs, and other places. It would also greatly reduce the temperature of the blood. It could protect the body. When refining the heavenly fire, one had to control the temperature of the body to an extremely low level. This way, one's body could better adapt to the temperature of the heavenly fire. Of course, Lin Feng had already refined 5 types of heavenly fire, and his ability to withstand the heavenly fire was much stronger than other cultivators. The reason why Lin Feng still swallowed the chilling ice grass was because he wanted to use the low temperature of the ice grass to neutralize the high temperature of the Azure Dragon True Fire. This way, the temperature of the Azure Dragon True Fire would drop drastically. In this way, it would be easier for Lin Feng to adapt. Of course, most importantly, it would be easier for Lin Feng to refine the Green Dragon Primordial Fire. Lin Feng swallowed the chilling ice grass. Soon, Lin Feng's body began to shiver from the cold. Cold air kept coming out of his body. Frost ice grass is indeed worthy of being a frost-type immortal herb. I feel like I'm about to freeze to death. So cold, so cold. Lin Feng's voice was trembling. After swallowing the chilling ice grass, it was as if an ordinary person had been thrown into negative hundreds of degrees Celsius. This feeling, it was truly a fate worse than death. Lin Feng hurriedly summoned the Azure Dragon True Fire to his side. Then, Lin Feng devoured the Azure Dragon True Fire. When the Azure Dragon True Fire entered Lin Feng's body, the Azure Dragon True Fire instantly recovered. Originally, the Azure Dragon True Fire had been suppressed by Lin Feng's runes. However, at this moment, those runes were rapidly crumbling. In the blink of an eye, all of the runes were completely destroyed. As for the Azure Dragon True Fire, it directly turned into an Azure Fire Dragon. Endless flames surged out of the Azure Fire Dragon's body. Those powerful flames began to burn fiercely. The ice that had condensed in Lin Feng's body was constantly melting. Roar! That Azure Fire Dragon flew rapidly within Lin Feng's body. It seemed like it wanted to burn Lin Feng into ashes. However, the Azure Fire Dragon was unable to do so. The temperature released by the Azure Fire Dragon was extremely high. However, the layer of ice within Lin Feng's body was constantly counteracting the temperature released by the Azure Fire Dragon. Even the temperature of the Azure Fire Dragon was constantly dropping. The Azure Fire Dragon was the core flame of the Azure Dragon True Fire. If he could subdue the Azure Fire Dragon, when the time came, he would be able to refine the Azure Dragon True Fire. Lin Feng discovered that the layer of ice within his body had almost melted. He could already feel a burning sensation in his internal organs. Lin Feng did not dare to hesitate. He quickly summoned the 5 heavenly flames. When the layer of ice completely disappeared, the Azure Dragon True Fire would begin to harm Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng was clear about this. Therefore, he summoned the 5 heavenly flames in advance. In case of any accidents, the 5 heavenly flames surrounded the Azure Fire Dragon. Roar! The Azure Fire Dragon let out a series of low roars. It darted left and right, trying to break out of the encirclement of the 5 heavenly flames. However, the Azure Fire Dragon was unable to break out. Among the 5 heavenly flames, there was the 8th-ranked Black Flame Spirit-Eating Fire. This was the most important thing. If Lin Feng did not master the Black Flame Spirit-Eating Fire, and only mastered the 5 lower-ranked Heavenly Flames, the 5 Heavenly Flames would not be able to trap the Azure Dragon True Fire. However, unfortunately, Lin Feng mastered the Black Flame Spirit-Eating Fire, a high-level Heavenly Flame. The other 4 Heavenly Flames were led by the Black Flame Spirit-Eating Fire. They formed the Great Heavenly Flame Array. The Azure Fire Dragon formed by the Azure Dragon True Fire was completely trapped. It was only a matter of time before it was refined. Seeing this, Lin Feng's face, he could not help but smile. As time passed, the Azure Fire Dragon once again turned into a cluster of flames. Lin Feng's dermic powers continued to seep into the interior of the Azure Dragon True Fire. Lin Feng could clearly feel that his connection with the Azure Dragon True Fire was becoming closer and closer. Of course, Lin Feng was not able to refine the Azure Dragon True Fire yet. However, Lin Feng felt that it would be soon. After about 5 days, Lin Feng finally refined the Azure Dragon True Fire, the 10th ranked heavenly flame. After Lin Feng had refined the Azure Dragon Fire, a vast amount of energy was contained within the Azure Dragon Fire, which was as vast as the ocean. That powerful energy began to flow into Lin Feng's body and began to feed back into Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng's realm also began to rise. Now, Lin Feng's cultivation was at the 3rd heavenly layer of the Emperor realm. As the vast amount of energy was absorbed and converted into pure dermic powers, Lin Feng's realm quickly broke through to the 4th heavenly layer of the Emperor realm. Lin Feng knew how difficult it was for him to break through. Now, after refining the Azure Dragon True Fire and receiving its dermic powers, it was so easy for him to break through. This made Lin Feng both shocked and delighted. Lin Feng's realm continued to rise steadily. Not long after, Lin Feng broke through from the 4th heavenly layer of the Emperor realm to the 5th heavenly layer of the Emperor realm, and then from the 5th heavenly layer of the Emperor realm to the 6th heavenly layer of the Emperor realm. After breaking through 3 levels in a row, Lin Feng's body still contained an enormous amount of energy. This made Lin Feng extremely happy. It seemed that he could continue to break through. Lin Feng continued to absorb the energy in his body. Finally, Lin Feng's realm broke through to the 7th heavenly layer of the Emperor realm before stopping. Chapter 4261. Ha 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 ha, breaking through to the 7th heavenly Emperor realm is so satisfying. Lin Feng couldn't help but laugh. Originally, Lin Feng thought that the limit was 3 realms. He didn't expect to break through 4 realms. It was a pleasant surprise. After refining the Azure Dragon True Fire, Lin Feng's 5 elemental heavenly fire array could evolve into the 6 unity heavenly fire array. The 6 unity heavenly fire array was obviously more powerful. In addition, Lin Feng's burning heaven's fury could fuse 6 types of heavenly fire. He wondered how powerful the burning heaven's fury would be after fusing 6 types of heavenly fire. Lin Feng didn't practice the burning heaven's fury. He would find out when he fought with others in the future. It's time to leave the God Destruction Starfield and head to the Undying World. Lin Feng couldn't help muttering to himself. He walked out of the cave where he was in seclusion. In fact, Lin Feng was already quite close to the Undying World. So, Lin Feng guessed. He would definitely reach the Undying World in 3 years at most. The ancient starship Xianyuan entered the starry sky world again. Bibi, Dragon Rabbit, and Xiaolong rushed out of the space-time space. The 3 little ones ran, jumped, and jumped, having a lot of fun. When they were tired of playing, they pestered Lin Feng to make all kinds of delicious food for them. The 3 little ones often ate all kinds of spirit fruits and were already tired of them. They didn't want to eat those spirit fruits anymore. Traveling through the starry sky was lonely and boring. They couldn't see anything for a long time, and the surroundings were dark and lonely. Such a world was enough to drive people crazy. No wonder so many people like to travel with beauties when traveling through the starry sky. It was a way to pass the time. Of course, they would occasionally encounter some ancient starships. However, when they saw other ancient starships, Lin Feng would avoid them. Lin Feng wasn't afraid of those people. He just didn't want to attract trouble. A year and a half later, they passed through a desolate death starfield. The death starfield was filled with the power of death. Ancient starships would often choose to take a detour. However, if they were to take a detour, they would be delayed for 10 years. Lin Feng didn't want to waste so much time, so he didn't choose to take a detour. The ancient starship Xianyuan continued to travel through this death starfield. Screech! The death starfield was filled with Een spirits and ghosts. A large number of Een spirits and ghosts had arrived. Then it let out a sharp, ear-piercing cry. The Een spirits and ghosts surrounded the Xianyuan ancient starry sky. They wanted to break through the defenses of the Xianyuan ancient starry sky ship and rush inside. However, those Een spirits and ghosts were all blocked by the powerful restrictions of the Xianyuan ancient starry sky ship. Lin Feng couldn't be bothered to deal with those Een spirits and ghosts. Bibi, Dragon Rabbit, and Little Dragon looked at the Een spirits and ghosts outside and let out indistinct cries from time to time. Then, they waved their little claws, as if provoking the ghosts outside. The Een spirits and ghosts became even angrier and kept attacking the defensive restrictions of the Xianyuan ancient starry sky ship. Seeing the three little fellows playing tricks, Lin Feng couldn't help but smile bitterly and shake his head. They were still young and belonged to the stage of being active. A light flashed in Lin Feng's mind. There was no one in this place, only all kinds of spirits and ghosts. Could he use this place to temper BB's strength? Dragon Rabbit wasn't good at fighting, but Little Dragon was too young. Therefore, Lin Feng didn't want to temper them. However, it wouldn't be a problem for him to temper BB. Although BB hadn't reached adulthood yet, Lin Feng estimated that when BB was 300 to 400 years old, she would be equivalent to a 16-year-old human. Now, BB was equivalent to a 5 or 6-year-old human child. However, BB's ability was very powerful. The only thing BB lacked now was combat experience. He could let BB increase her combat experience here, but he couldn't let BB become a flower in a greenhouse. Doomsday had arrived, and no one could say for sure what would happen in the future. If he could protect BB all the time, it would naturally be good. But what if he couldn't protect BB all the time? Therefore, Lin Feng felt that it was necessary to train BB's combat ability now. If one day in the future, he wasn't by BB's side, as long as the little fellow had enough combat experience, she could deal with all kinds of dangers. Thinking of this, Lin Feng called BB over. Ya, ya. BB waved its little claws and called out vaguely. It seemed to ask Lin Feng why he called it. Lin Feng rubbed BB's little head lovingly. The little fellow enjoyed it more than 10 times, rubbing its head against Lin Feng's palm. Lin Feng said, BB, you've grown up. It's time to go out and train. Why don't you go out and train for a while, and we'll meet again after we leave this star field? Hearing this, BB hurriedly shook her head. She looked at Lin Feng with a pitiful gaze. Seeing BB's pitiful look, Lin Feng's heart softened. He couldn't bear to let BB take the risk in this Death Star field. However, Lin Feng knew, when it was time to be ruthless, he had to be ruthless. Or else, it would only harm BB. Lin Feng said, Little fellow, it's a deal. I'll wait for you outside. Seeing Lin Feng's insistence, Bei Bei's big, watery eyes immediately welled up with tears. She hoped that Lin Feng could change his mind. At that moment, Lin Feng really wanted to change his mind. However, Lin Feng's rationality told him he couldn't do that. Hence, Lin Feng steeled his heart and said, Go, be careful. As soon as his voice fell, Lin Feng released a ball of magic power to wrap BB. Then, the ball of magic power sent BB out of the ancient starship Xinyuan. Swoosh. Next, the ancient starship Xinyuan jumped through space-time and quickly disappeared. A large number of evil spirits and ghosts pounced on BB. That little guy should indeed try to stand on his own 2 feet, the Demon Lord said. Lin Feng sighed. For more than 100 years, BB had never left him. Now, BB was left alone in this Death Star field to train. If he said that he wasn't worried, naturally, no one would believe him. Lin Feng was extremely worried about BB. He had never been so worried about BB before. However, Lin Feng knew that he couldn't be soft-hearted. If he were to be soft-hearted now, it would be a foreshadowing for some tragedies in the future. He had to harden his heart now. It was very important for BB's growth. 4 months later, the ancient starship Xinyuan left the Death Star field. Lin Feng waited outside for half a year before BB finally came out. The originally snow-white little fellow was now dirty, but her eyes were still very bright. After seeing the Xinyuan ancient starry sky ship hovering in the void, the little fellow quickly flew towards the ancient starry sky ship. There was a little beast following behind Bei Bei. It was a pitch-black little beast that had been following Bei Bei as they flew out of the Death Star field. Chapter 4262. BB quickly flew back to the ancient starship Xinyuan. The little fellow directly jumped into Lin Feng's arms. During this period, the little fellow had missed Lin Feng very much. The little beast that followed BB out of the Death Star field stopped outside the ancient starship Xinyuan. A pair of big black eyes looked at the ancient starship Xinyuan. The little beast was pitch black and looked like a black leopard. However, Lin Feng felt that the little beast did not seem to be a leopard. That was because, generally, leopards were a relatively low-level race, but the little black beast outside was obviously a very high-level fierce beast. The The little beast's body exuded an innate pressure. It was like the king of all beasts, imposing without being angry. Although the little beast looked very young, the pressure it exuded was still very strong. This was what made Lin Feng feel incredulous. Ya, ya. When Bibi saw the little beast outside the ancient starship Xianyuan, it kept waving its little paws and shouting. Lin Feng did not understand what Bibi meant, but the little beast clearly understood. Bibi seemed to know the little beast. Bibi kept waving its little paws at the little beast. It seemed to be hinting for the little beast to leave quickly. However, the little beast remained unmoved. Lin Feng looked at Bibi and asked, "You know that little beast?" Bei started to squeak and squeak. "You're saying, you got to know this little beast when you were training? You even fought with it?" Lin Feng asked. Bei nodded his head, then started to squeak again. "You're saying that the two of you were evenly matched? You didn't know each other until you fought, and then you trained together?" Lin Feng asked. Bei nodded his head once again, and then started to babble a bunch of words. "You're saying that after the training ended, you told it not to follow you. But this little fellow kept following you?" Lin Feng asked. Bibi nodded again. Lin Feng couldn't help but scratch his chin. That little black beast outside was surprisingly able to compete with Bei. That little beast's cultivation level was really terrifying. Moreover, the little beast was also very young, but it was so powerful. This meant that the little beast must have an extremely powerful innate talent to be able to support its strength at such a young age. What kind of race was it? Lin Feng could not help but mutter to himself. He was certain that the little beast was definitely from an extremely powerful race. "Can I kidnap the little beast?" Lin Feng could not help but mutter. The little beast must have an extremely heaven-defying origin. If he could kidnap the little beast, he would be able to nurture it a little in the future. When the little beast grew up, he did not know how terrifying it would become. This would be a huge help. With that thought, Lin Feng waved at the little beast. He gestured for the little beast to come over. However, the little beast was clearly very vigilant. It did not fly toward Lin Feng just because Lin Feng waved at it. It was clearly on guard against Lin Feng. Lin Feng could not help but feel extremely surprised. Previously, he saw that the little beast was unwilling to leave, so Lin Feng thought that it would be easy to summon the little beast. However, it seemed that he was wrong. The reason the little beast was unwilling to leave was actually because of Bibi. "Little guy, call the little beast over and let it leave with us," Lin Feng said. "Ya. Bibi waved its little paws, as if asking Lin Feng why he wanted the little beast to leave with them. The little guy was extremely puzzled. Lin Feng said, "That little guy is very powerful. We need to gather many powerful people together. Only when we encounter danger can we overcome it." Bibi was very smart. Although it was still young, it understood the meaning of Lin Feng's words. The little guy nodded. Then, Bibi looked at the little beast. It waved its little paws at the little beast. The little beast understood Bei's gesture and quickly flew towards the ancient starship, Xianyuan. In the end, it boarded the ancient starship. When the little beast arrived, Lin Feng could clearly feel that the ancient starship had become extremely cold, as if it had fallen into a bottomless abyss. It was a terrible feeling. This feeling made Lin Feng very uncomfortable. Lin Feng was very surprised. He knew that this feeling was because the little beast had boarded the ancient starship. Bibi squeaked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng smiled bitterly. He understood what Bibi was saying. Bibi was saying, "Now you know why I didn't let it come over, right?" Lin Feng smiled and said, "It'll be fine once you get used to it." Lin Feng turned to look at the little beast and asked, "What race are you?" The little beast ignored Lin Feng. It didn't even bat an eyelid. It was as if it hadn't heard Lin Feng's question at all. Bibi saw that the little beast dared to ignore Lin Feng. Bibi was furious. She wanted to rush up and teach the little beast a lesson, but Lin Feng stopped her. Lin Feng smiled and said, "You two should get along well. Don't fight." The ancient starship quickly set off again. The ancient starship Xuanyuan's speed was extremely fast. The ancient starship quickly flew in the direction of the Undying Realm. 10 months later, Lin Feng arrived in another part of the star region. This star field had a lot of cultivators. Along the way, he could see ancient starships flying by from time to time. Apart from the ancient starships, he could also see various planets with life. Of course, these planets with life were not particularly big. However, even the smaller ones usually had millions, or even tens of millions of people. Lin Feng asked around and found out that this starfield was actually the Dao Saint starfield. "I've finally arrived at the Dao Saint starfield." Lin Feng couldn't help taking a deep breath. Dao Saint starfield. He wasn't far from the Undying Realm. With the ancient starship's speed, he would probably reach the Undying Realm in 7 or 8 hours. Finally, he was about to arrive at the Undying Realm. Lin Feng couldn't help but feel excited. On this day, Lin Feng suddenly saw a large amount of demonic qi in front of him. It was demonic qi. It blotted out the sky. It swept across the sky. It was extremely terrifying. There were more than a dozen ancient starships in front of him, and they were all shrouded in demonic qi. Soon, the demonic qi flew into the distance. The cultivators on the dozens of ancient starships had all disappeared. They were all devoured by the demonic qi. Chapter 4263. The Xinyuan ancient starship flew close to the ancient starships in front of them. Lin Feng boarded the ship and inspected it, only to find that all the cultivators inside had disappeared. Lin Feng couldn't help but reveal an extremely shocked expression. Those people had suffered a calamity, but what kind of calamity had they suffered? Clearly, they had been devoured by the black fog. But with so many cultivators, they couldn't even resist? This was truly unimaginable. The Xinyuan ancient starship continued to fly deeper into the starry sky. Not long after, Lin Feng saw many cultivators traveling in groups. Lin Feng flew out of the Xinyuan ancient starship and stored it into the space-time domain. Bibi and the others also entered the space-time domain. Lin Feng stopped several cultivators and asked, "Brothers, what's going on? Why are there so many cultivators roaming around in the starry sky world? Are you a foreign cultivator?" Several people looked at Lin Feng in surprise. Lin Feng said, "Yes, I'm a cultivator traveling through the starry sky. I just arrived here." Hearing this, everyone revealed a look of awe. A cultivator daring to travel through the starry sky alone. He was definitely extremely powerful. Such an existence. He was definitely a terrifying figure. Even though Lin Feng looked relatively young, there were always some people in the world who couldn't be treated like ordinary people. The closer one got to the Undying Realm, the more they could accept this point of view. After all, there were too many top geniuses there. A cultivator said, "It's said that some sacred devils escape from the Forbidden Realm. These sacred devils are extremely terrifying. They devour living beings everywhere. Many planets with life have been devoured by these sacred devils. That's why everyone is looking for the traces of those saint devils. If we can kill them, we can use their bodies to refine the saint devil fruit. This saint devil fruit is a great supplement. It can greatly increase a cultivator's cultivation." Sacred devils? Sacred devil fruits? Lin Feng was very surprised. He couldn't help but ask, "Are sacred devils extremely powerful demons?" A cultivator said, "That's not the case. Sacred devils refer to the sacred devil tribe. They are a branch of the devil tribe. These fellows constantly devour living beings to recover their original strength." "Thank you for telling me." Lin Feng cupped his fists. "Brother, you're welcome." After saying that, the cultivators quickly left the area. Lin Feng pondered. These sacred devils were really bold. Even if they wanted to devour living beings wantonly, they should have gone to a more remote starry sky. This place. However, the Dao Saint Starfield was not far from the Undying Realm, and there were cultivators coming and going every day. A large number of cultivators gathering. Therefore, there were many experts here. In addition, there were many major forces in the Dao Saint Starfield. There was no need to mention the Dao Saint Palace. Other than the Dao Saint Palace, there were many other major forces. Therefore, such a place. Just imagine. How many experts would appear to deal with these sacred devils? Now I know why these saint demons chose to devour so many living beings in this place. Lin Feng muttered to himself. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes. They could do whatever they wanted in remote areas. However, there were very few experts in remote areas. These sacred devils wanted to recover quickly. They needed to devour a large number of cultivators. The stronger the cultivator, the more useful it was to them. Therefore, these sacred devils took the risk and came to the Tao Saint Starfield to devour all kinds of cultivators. For example, Lin Feng saw demonic aura enveloping many ancient starships from afar. When the demonic aura left, all the cultivators on the ancient starships disappeared. They must have been devoured by the sacred devils. Go hunt sacred devils and collect more sacred devil fruits. Whether you can break through to the sacred emperor realm or not depends on how many sacred devil fruits you can collect. With your cultivation, it won't be a problem for you to go to the undying realm. However, I'm afraid that the celestial race will discover you, especially Di Wu Dao. That's why you should raise your cultivation as much as possible before reaching the undying realm. The demon lord said. Lin Feng nodded. His thoughts were the same as the demon lord's. Lin Feng felt that those sacred devils were indeed existences that he should hunt. Firstly, killing those sacred devils could be considered as getting rid of evil for the people. Secondly, killing those sacred devils would also give him a lot of benefits. Why were so many cultivators looking for the whereabouts of the sacred devils? Wasn't it because those cultivators wanted to kill the sacred devils and devour their sacred devil fruits to raise their cultivation? Lin Feng also had the same plan. He began to search for the whereabouts of the sacred devils. However, he didn't find any clues. In the beginning, the people of the Tao Saint Starfield didn't pay attention to those sacred devils. Therefore, those sacred devils were simply unstoppable as they devoured the living beings of one life planet after another. Then, they continuously killed cultivators and devoured a large number of them. However, as the deeds of those sacred devils spread, all the major forces and experts came to search for them. Those sacred devils also became more low-key. Lin Feng searched for more than 10 days, but still couldn't find the whereabouts of those sacred devils. Lin Feng couldn't help but feel apprehensive. Could it be that those sacred devils knew that the Tao Saint Starfield was dangerous, so they left? However, Lin Feng didn't think so. This kind of place was beneficial for those sacred devils to recover their cultivation. They definitely wouldn't leave. Clearly, those sacred devils must have hidden themselves very well. They either didn't attack, or they attacked and devoured their opponents. Therefore, everyone lost track of those sacred devils. There are people attacking a sacred devil in the sea of stars ahead. Soon, the news spread. After hearing this news, a large number of cultivators flew toward the sea of stars ahead. Lin Feng also arrived in that sea of stars. A large number of cultivators were attacking more than 10 cultivators. Those cultivators had monstrous demonic qi in their bodies. They tried to charge left and right, but they couldn't escape. Among those cultivators, there were actually 2 children about 5 or 6 years old. One was a boy, and the other was a girl. They looked like they were carved from jade and looked very cute. Little sacred devils? Lin Feng frowned. In the end, that group of cultivators was killed. Then, someone tried to refine their source energy into a sacred devil fruit. However, their source energy didn't turn into a sacred devil fruit. After seeing this, many people's expressions turned unsightly. Damn it! These people aren't from the sacred devil tribe. We worked for nothing. Many people began cursing. Next, the cultivators there dispersed and a large number of them flew out of the sea of stars. Chapter 4264. They've all gone mad. Lin Feng shook his head. It seemed that those people had been implicated by the holy devils. They might be demonic cultivators, but they were definitely not from the holy devil tribe. However, no one would listen to their excuses. Now, many people would rather kill 1,000 innocents than let a single one go. Therefore, those people from earlier had all been killed. Of course, those people were strong enough. They had so many people, but they had resisted for so long. The most pitiful ones were the little boy and the little girl. They were so young. Yet, they had met with such a calamity. It was really too tragic. Driven by profit, many people's eyes have been blinded. Even if they don't think those people are from the holy devil tribe, they still haven't given up on killing them. In their eyes, even if there is a 1 in 1,000 chance that those innocent people are from the holy devil tribe, they will still attack and kill those people. The demon lord said. How cruel, Yi Futian murmured. Lin Feng sighed. Cruel? The demon lord couldn't help but sneer. Do you think this word is applicable in the world of cultivators? Natural selection, survival of the fittest. Haven't you seen the cruelty of the world of cultivators over the years? Lin Feng said. I've seen it, but I think sometimes it's better to have some kindness in your heart. Kikik. At this moment, a sinister laughter suddenly resounded between heaven and earth. A large amount of demonic chi appeared in the sea of stars, blotting out the sky and flying toward the direction of the original battle. Holy devil! It's the holy devil! Run quickly! Many cultivators screamed in horror. Originally, there were tens of thousands of cultivators gathered here, but they had all dispersed. Now, there were still a few hundred people who hadn't left in time. That holy devil had obviously arrived here long ago, so it had only appeared after most of the cultivators had left. That holy devil wanted to devour these few hundred cultivators. What are you afraid of? There are a few hundred of us. Are you afraid that we can't deal with the holy devil here? Following that, someone shouted loudly. Their battle intent soared into the heavens, and their killing intent was awe-inspiring. Among these cultivators, there were naturally those who wanted to fight. Some of the fleeing cultivators stopped moving after being devoured by the demonic energy. There was an 80% chance that they were already dead. When the rest saw this scene, they could not help becoming ruthless in their hearts. Since he couldn't escape, then he would fight. Over there, someone seemed to have discovered where the sacred demon was hiding. He pointed in that direction, and hundreds of cultivators rushed in that direction. Lin Feng also blended into the crowd. He really liked this method of ganging up on the other party. This method required less effort, and after killing the other party, they could snatch the treasures with their own abilities. However, just as he rushed into the demonic chi, Lin Feng discovered that something was wrong. There seemed to be an extremely terrifying force lying dormant in front of him. Once he rushed in, he would definitely be plotted against. This feeling was so strong that Lin Feng shouted, "Retreat! Hurry up and retreat! There seems to be something wrong in front. F***CK. If he's so cowardly, what's the point of cultivating?" Someone cursed. Lin Feng was speechless. Good intentions really didn't pay off. Lin Feng could not be bothered with these people. He quickly retreated. Meanwhile, the hundreds of cultivators relied on their numbers and fearlessly rushed forward. Soon, the cultivators let out shrill cries. Lin Feng's gaze pierced through the demonic chi and saw their situation. The cultivators' bodies were constantly aging. They wanted to escape, but their bodies were imprisoned. Then, a large amount of demonic chi enveloped them and devoured them. The power to seal the void and the power of time. That sacred demon has grasped the Tao of space and time. Lin Feng could not help but reveal an extremely shocked expression. The Tao of space and time was extremely terrifying. Grasping one of them was heaven-defying. If one grasped the other, it was hard to imagine how powerful the other party would be. This guy is too strong. I'd better flee. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. If this sacred demon only grasped the Tao of space, Lin Feng naturally would not be afraid of him. More importantly, this guy also grasped the Tao of time. The Tao of time could deprive others of their lives. Lin Feng was afraid that he would not be able to resist this guy. He quickly flew into the distance, but the sacred demon pursued him closely. A large amount of demonic chi surged, and the sacred demon's sinister voice sounded. "Kikik, brat, you can't escape. You're destined to become my food. Furthermore, I can sense the powerful bloodline in your body. If I devour you, the effect will be much greater than devouring those people just now." Lin Feng said, "You must have sensed wrongly. My bloodline is ordinary, and my cultivation is low. If you devour me, it'll be equivalent to devouring a large amount of impurities. You'll have to think of a way to refine those impurities. The gains will not make up for the losses. Hee, brat, stop hiding. Your bloodline is rare in this world. I'll definitely devour you." The sacred demon continued. "Don't push me too far. If you push me too far, I can do anything. At worst, we'll fight to the death." Lin Feng said viciously. Do you think that you can threaten me? How laughable. The sacred demon sneered. He did not care about Lin Feng's threat at all. Demonic chi surged. That holy devil was simply too fast. Lin Feng could not help but feel depressed. Could it be that those sacred demons were as powerful as this sacred demon in front of him? If that was the case, going to hunt holy demons was truly suicidal. Unless a large number of cultivators attacked the sacred demon together, it would be too difficult to kill it. In the end, Lin Feng was unable to avoid the sacred demon's pursuit. The sacred demon caught up to him. The power of space and time quickly surged over. Lin Feng dissolved the power of space released by the sacred demon. However, he was unable to dissolve the power of time released by the sacred demon. Lin Feng's lifespan was being stripped away by the sacred demon. Lin Feng's expression sank. The power of time released by the sacred demon was too strange. He was in big trouble now. At this moment, the demonic orb flew out. The demonic orb released rays of demonic light. These rays of demonic light actually turned into mysterious runes. They imprinted themselves on Lin Feng's body. The demon lord had activated the demonic orb. These runes were actually able to resist the corrosion of the power of time. Quick, think of a way to kill that sacred demon. I can't hold on for long. The demon lord said solemnly. Lin Feng was moved to tears. The demon lord often said that he would not easily make a move because every time he made a move, it would cause great harm to him. However, when he was in danger, the demon lord still made a move. Chapter 4265. Lin Feng knew that time was limited. He had to quickly kill this holy demon. Otherwise, the situation would be even worse for him. Without the slightest hesitation, Lin Feng flew towards the holy demon. Demonic chi churned, and the power of time and space intertwined. However, it couldn't stop Lin Feng's footsteps. Lin Feng rushed in front of the holy demon. He finally saw the holy demon's appearance clearly. This holy demon was 3 meters tall. Its body had dark black skin, and its body emitted an extremely evil aura. Moreover, it had 3 eyes. The eye between its eyebrows flickered with an extremely demonic light. Seeing Lin Feng rush over, the holy demon was extremely shocked. It said in disbelief, "I really didn't expect that an ant like you could actually reach this holy demon. However, what's the use of this? You'll still die." As soon as it finished speaking, the holy demon slapped its palm towards Lin Feng. Fury of the burning heavens. Facing the holy demon's attack, Lin Feng's face flickered with dense killing intent. Lin Feng directly used one of his trump cards, Fury of the Burning Heavens. Although this was a sacred art that Lin Feng had created himself, it was extremely powerful. It was absolutely shocking, especially after Lin Feng refined the 6th heavenly fire, the Azure Dragon True Fire. The Fury of the Burning Heavens was even more powerful. The power of the fusion of the 6 heavenly fires was absolutely unimaginable. At this moment, the 6 heavenly fires had fused into a ball of flame. The ball of flame emitted a power that could distort time and space. It was extremely terrifying. Lin Feng directly took out the ball of flame. The ball of flame quickly flew towards the holy demon. Although the holy demon was extremely arrogant, after sensing the power of the ball of flame, his expression couldn't help but change. He quickly retreated, wanting to dodge the ball of flame. However, it was too late. That ball of flame, it instantly exploded. Boom! Accompanied by an earth-shaking explosion, Lin Yun's eyes lit up. The destructive power instantly engulfed the holy demon. Damn it! The holy devil roared and charged out of the explosion. However, after rushing out, he cut a sorry figure. His body was covered in blood, and in some places, there were even wounds so deep that his bones could be seen. After seeing this scene, Lin Feng smiled. This holy demon was indeed powerful. However, the might of the burning heaven's fury was also very strong. He had actually managed to injure the Saint Devil quite severely. Of course, this Saint Devil's true body was simply too terrifying. Therefore, although his current injuries seemed serious, they were not fatal. "I'll take your life." The holy fiend roared and charged towards Lin Feng. The magic power in his body surged wildly. Clearly, this Saint Devil was going to use all his strength to kill Lin Feng. In truth, Lin Feng wasn't necessarily afraid of this holy demon if he didn't use the time and space dash. The most terrifying thing about this holy demon was its use of time and space. If it wasn't for the demon lord temporarily activating the demon orb to help him resist the corrosion of the power of time, his lifespan might have been completely stripped away. Lin Feng was very clear about this. However, the key was that he was no longer afraid of the other party's power of time. When the holy demon charged towards him again, Lin Feng began to use the Great Curse technique. The power of Lin Feng's Great Curse technique was no longer comparable to before. He tried to use the Great Curse technique to deal a fatal blow to the holy demon. After failing several times, the holy demon was about to reach Lin Feng and attack Lin Feng. At this moment, the Great Curse technique finally came into effect. A poochie sound could be heard. A bloody hole appeared in the holy demon's chest. Fresh blood immediately flowed out. The holy demon let out an incomparably shrill scream. Anyone's chest would become one of their fatal weaknesses. Although this holy demon was powerful, the damage to his chest was also extremely great. This was because there was a heart in his chest. Lin Feng's attack just now had already pierced through his heart. Therefore, the damage from this attack was naturally extremely severe. Moreover, this attack just now directly interrupted the divine ability that the holy demon had condensed. Lin Feng stepped forward and prepared the 6 paths of reincarnation fist. He punched towards the holy demon. In a hurry, the holy demon moved to block Lin Feng's 6 paths of reincarnation fist. Bang! The two sides fiercely collided. The heavily injured holy demon couldn't block Lin Feng's attack and was sent flying by Lin Feng's punch. Peak state. He was indeed powerful. However, this guy had underestimated Lin Feng's strength from the beginning. He didn't have much of his guard up against Lin Feng. Then, he was injured by Lin Feng's burning wrath of the heavens. This was the turning point of this battle. After being injured by Lin Feng's burning wrath of the heavens, this guy couldn't recover from the setback. He was passively taking a beating everywhere. This holy demon wanted to break free from Lin Feng, but Lin Feng didn't give him a chance to do so. Lin Feng rushed forward and held the holy demon back. The second punch of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist flew towards this holy demon. This holy demon couldn't dodge Lin Feng's attack and could only take Lin Feng's attack head-on. The two sides collided again. Bang! Accompanied by the violent sound of collision, this holy demon was sent flying by Lin Feng's punch. He coughed up large mouthfuls of blood in midair. His face was as pale as a sheet. This holy demon was practically mad with hatred. When had he ever suffered such a great loss? Even when he was trapped in the Forbidden God world back then, he was trapped by a great formation and not injured so severely. This holy demon tried to counterattack and turn the situation around, but his attempts didn't have any effect at all. As a result, this holy demon, he was being suppressed by Lin Feng more and more. Brat, let's sit down and talk. I can satisfy you whatever you want. This holy demon said with a gloomy expression. He didn't want to make peace with Lin Feng. In his opinion, this was a great humiliation to his dignity. However, his current situation was rather bad. He had no choice but to lower his head in front of Lin Feng. This guy had already thought it through. Once he was free, he would immediately launch a counterattack against Lin Feng. This holy demon's biggest problem now was that he couldn't use a powerful ability to counterattack against Lin Feng. This holy demon believed that even if his injuries were extremely serious, as long as he had enough time, he would be able to use his trump card. He would definitely be able to kill Lin Feng. I only want your life, Yi Futian said. Lin Feng sneered. He wasn't moved at all. His attacks became even fiercer. Lin Feng stepped forward. The 6 paths of reincarnation fist was ready once again. He threw a punch at the holy devil. This was Lin Feng's 12th 6 paths of reincarnation fist. Chapter 4266. The power of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist would increase exponentially with each additional punch. Lin Feng had unleashed 12 consecutive punches of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist. From this, it could be seen how powerful Lin Feng's 6 paths of reincarnation fist was. It had definitely reached an unimaginably terrifying level. Facing Lin Feng's punch, the holy demon still had no choice but to take Lin Feng's 6 paths of reincarnation fist head-on. The biggest problem he was facing now was that he didn't have enough time to use those top-notch divine abilities. Lin Feng completely cut off the time he had to use those top-notch divine abilities because Lin Feng knew that this guy was too terrifying. If he gave him enough time to use those heaven-defying divine abilities, he would be the unlucky one. Bang! Crack! Crack! Lin Feng and the holy demon clashed once again with the sound of violent collisions and bones cracking. This time, the holy demon suffered a calamity. His arm was directly broken by Lin Feng's punch. The white bone even pierced through his flesh. The holy demon screamed and was sent flying by Lin Feng. As the battle progressed, the holy demon's injuries became more and more serious. Therefore, the current situation for this holy devil was extremely bad. On the other hand, Lin Feng became more and more courageous as the battle progressed. Therefore, the holy demon also knew that his current situation was very bad. Lin Feng charged towards the holy demon once again. At this moment, the third eye between the holy demon's eyebrows flickered with blood-red light. During this period, he had been trying to activate the third eye between his eyebrows. However, it wasn't an easy task. However, he didn't give up. Now, he finally succeeded in activating the third eye between his eyebrows. Swoosh! A blood-red light directly flew out from the third eye between the holy demon's eyebrows. That blood-red light pierced towards Lin Feng's body. The void was instantly pierced through. That blood-red light flew in front of Lin Feng in the blink of an eye. It was about to pierce through Lin Feng's body. The holy demon's face couldn't help but reveal an excited expression. How long had it been since he was so excited? Today, he was suppressed so badly by Lin Feng. Now that the holy demon saw a chance to turn the tables and win, he became extremely excited. However, just as the blood-red light was about to pierce through Lin Feng's body, Lin Feng actually disappeared. Lin Feng used the teleportation divine ability he had obtained from the Myriad Tribe's divine palace. This divine ability was unfathomable. Now that Lin Feng had used that skill, it was surprisingly effective. Lin Feng knew that the holy demon's attack just now had consumed a lot of his energy. The holy demon turned around and punched behind him. Lin Feng silently appeared behind the holy demon and faced the holy demon's terrifying punch. Lin Feng condensed numerous runes. They were the runes condensed from the 8 God-sealing seals. Some of the runes blocked the holy demon's attack, and some of the runes, they suppressed the holy demon's body. The holy fiend roared and struggled continuously. The runes began to crack. Lin Feng hurriedly used the Great Suppression technique. He condensed a suppressed word. The suppressed word suppressed the holy demon's body. Instantly, the holy demon couldn't move. Bang! Then, Lin Feng fiercely punched the holy demon's dantian. Ah, my dantian. You actually crippled my dantian. You actually crippled my dantian. You will die a horrible death. You will die a horrible death. The holy demon roared furiously. His dantian was crippled. This guy was no longer a threat. You should die a horrible death. You devoured so many innocent people. Even if you died 1,000 times, 10,000 times, it wouldn't be enough. You just didn't expect to die in my hands in the end, right? Ha 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 ha. Lin Feng couldn't help but laugh loudly. Then, he grabbed the holy demon's forehead with his right hand. Lin Feng began to use the soul-searching technique on the holy demon. This guy knew the Tao of Time. Lin Feng wanted to see if he could find any memories of the Tao of Time from the holy demon's soul. If possible, then, it would be a great help to Lin Feng. The Tao of Space and the Tao of Time combined. It definitely had heaven-defying power. Thinking of this, Lin Feng's face couldn't help but reveal an expression of great anticipation. The reason why Lin Feng had crippled that guy's cultivation was that after that guy's cultivation was crippled, he wouldn't be able to resist anymore. As a result, when Lin Feng used the soul-searching technique on the holy demon, the success rate would greatly increase. After resisting for a while, the holy demon's willpower was broken down by Lin Feng. Lin Feng began to search the holy demon soul. All sorts of memories flashed through his mind. Lin Feng wasn't interested in the holy demon's other memories. He was only interested in the Tao of time. Suddenly, Lin Feng sensed the power of time in one of the holy demon's memories. Is this the Tao of time? Lin Feng's face lit up with joy. He guessed that the holy demon's memories probably recorded the cultivation method of the Tao of time. Otherwise, why would the power of time appear in that memory? Just as Lin Feng was about to explore it, a sudden change occurred. A deep and cold voice sounded from the holy demon's memories. Who is it? How dare you kill a member of my clan? When that voice spread in the air, Lin Feng had the impression that the atmosphere was frozen. He didn't know what method that existence had used to make his consciousness appear in the holy demon's memories. The holy demon's memories began to burn. As they burned, a powerful force was released. Sacrifice. Lin Feng was shocked. The other party was sacrificing the holy demon's memories in exchange for the possibility of Lin Feng's soul descending. Seeing this, Lin Feng hurriedly used Lu Yu's stargazing atlas. Swoosh! Lu Yu's stargazing atlas condensed and slashed at the burning holy demon's memories. Bang! Lu Yu's stargazing atlas slammed into the burning holy demon's memories. The burning holy demon's memories exploded. A furious voice sounded. Brat, this seat won't let you off. This seat will tear you to pieces. Following that, everything returned to normal. The terrifying existence's soul power didn't descend. Lin Feng couldn't help but let out a long breath. Lin Feng searched through the exploded holy demon's memories. However, the memories contained within them had already disappeared. This made Lin Feng somewhat depressed. However, when he thought about how he was about to obtain a holy demon fruit, his depressed mood was swept away. Lin Feng slapped the holy demon's body, causing it to explode. Lin Feng's powerful magic power surged out and enveloped the holy demon's origin. Next, the holy demon's origin was refined into a holy demon fruit by Lin Feng. Chapter 4267. Lin Feng played with the Saint Devil fruit in his hand. He couldn't help but smile. Lin Feng already knew that the devil cultivator's source could be turned into a fruit. For example, after a powerful sky devil was killed, the cultivator had a certain probability of refining the source of the sky devil into a sky devil fruit. This situation was exactly the same as when Lin Feng refined the source of the saint devil into a saint devil fruit. It was rumored that the earliest devil race was born from a saint devil fruit. So, after some devils fell, their source could return to its ancestral roots. Therefore, their source could be refined into a fruit. Of course, this kind of devil race was extremely rare. Moreover, the effect of the fruit formed from their source was different. The difference between the sky devil fruit and the saint devil fruit was like heaven and earth. There was no comparison at all. Lin Feng quickly left this star sea world. Lin Feng planned to find a place to refine this saint devil fruit to increase his cultivation. Not long after Lin Feng left, a cloud of devil fog flew over from afar. In the devil fog, there was a tall and sturdy cultivator. Where are you? Where are you? That cultivator was clearly a devil cultivator. His eyes were flowing with tears of blood. He kept roaring loudly. The demonic Tao cultivator finally stopped in the Star Sea realm. The demonic Tao cultivator waved his hand, and a series of images appeared. More than 10 devil cultivators, including a 5 to 6-year-old boy and a 5 to 6-year-old girl, were surrounded and attacked by a dense crowd of cultivators. Although those people argued that they weren't saint devil cultivators, but no one believed them. They would rather kill 1,000 by mistake. They wouldn't let a single one go. The group of people held such a mentality. Although those devil Tao cultivators were powerful, they were not the only ones. They weren't a match for so many cultivators. One by one, the devil cultivators were killed. In the end, only the little boy and the little girl were left. A young master in a golden robe was holding a war spear. He stabbed with his spear. Pooh, pooh. His war spear directly pierced through the little boy and the little girl's body, killing their young lives in midair. Then, those cultivators began to refine them. They wanted to refine them into saint devil fruits. But those cultivators failed. Many cultivators couldn't help but curse. Then, a large number of cultivators scattered and went to find the Saint Devil cultivators. My child, my child, my child, the demonic Tao cultivator roared. Their group went through the Starsea world. Originally, they wanted to go through the Tao Saint Star domain to the Undying Realm. Midway, they were chased by powerful enemies. The Devil Tao cultivator ordered his subordinates to escort his child away first. He, on the other hand, intercepted those enemies. When he had shaken off his pursuers and returned to chase after the group of people, he had to wait for the time being. His son and daughter's origin soul lamp. Like a madman T.S. Now, in this world, this demonic cultivator could only watch helplessly as his subordinate, his own child, was brutally killed. Teat cultivators, est. Devil cultivators weren't necessarily bad people. As for those cultivators who claimed to be righteous cultivators, they were often evil people. Cultivation techniques didn't distinguish between good and evil. Instead, people were divided into good and evil. This was not wrong at all. Lil Xian, Lil Yuan, Daddy will avenge you. Daddy will avenge you. The devil cultivator cried out hysterically as he shed tears of blood. The devil chi in his body overflowed. He quickly flew into the distance. His aura became chaotic. Obviously, this devil cultivator. It was as if he was going to go berserk. At that moment, Lin Feng looked for a lonely star and landed on it. There were some dilapidated ancient cities on that lonely star. Lin Feng frowned. This star seemed to have been destroyed not long ago. It seemed to have been destroyed by the Saint Devil. The living beings on the star were probably devoured by the Saint Devil. Lin Feng found a secluded place and set up a formation. Then, he went into seclusion. First, he spent a day to adjust his body to the best state. Then, Lin Feng swallowed the Saint Devil fruit. He began to refine the Saint Devil fruit. The Saint Devil fruit turned into the purest form of energy. It flowed in Lin Feng's body. The powerful energy was absorbed by Lin Feng's body. Then, the powerful energy fused with Lin Feng's magic power. Lin Feng's magic power began to transform. Under the effect of that energy, Lin Feng's magic power became purer and purer. This made Lin Feng smile. Awesome. It was too awesome. The Saint Devil fruit's effect was too good. He could clearly feel his magic power transforming. It was too difficult for Lin Feng to break through a level. He needed to go against the heavens and change his fate. He had to constantly find all kinds of powerful treasures to support his body's transformation. And the Holy Devil Fruit was such a heavenly treasure. Lin Feng spent 2 days to completely refine and absorb the Saint Devil Fruit. As for Lin Feng, he broke through from the 7th heavenly layer to the 8th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm. Next is to break through to the 9th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm, then the 10th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm, then the Sage Emperor Realm. Lin Feng's face lit up. Lin Feng originally thought that it would take a long time to break through to the Sage Emperor Realm. After all, it was already so difficult for ordinary people to break through to the Sage Emperor Realm, let alone him. But now, Lin Feng saw the hope of quickly breaking through to the Sage Emperor Realm. That was to continuously hunt down Saint Devils, to continuously collect Saint Devil fruits, then to refine them. Lin Feng came out of seclusion. Just as he was about to fly out of the star, Lin Feng suddenly felt the star tremble slightly. What happened? Lin Feng was surprised. When he continued to sense it, he discovered that the trembling had disappeared. Could it be that I'm mistaken? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. It's not an illusion. This star really did tremble. Go underground and take a look. I feel that the trembling of the star is coming from underground, the Demon Lord said. Hearing this, Lin Feng nodded. He used the Great Earth Movement technique and quickly drilled underground. The surrounding soil and sand all opened up a path for Lin Feng. After diving for 100,000 meters, he still didn't find anything. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown. If he continued down, he would reach the core world. Even with Lin Feng's cultivation, he wasn't willing to go to a place like the core world because the core world was very dangerous. If external forces entered, it could easily cause the core world to explode. If the core world exploded, Even immortals would most likely die from the destructive energy of the explosion. Just as Lin Feng was hesitating whether to leave or not, a violent fluctuation came from below. Lin Feng was shocked. Something unknown must have happened below. Lin Feng instantly threw the thought of leaving away. Lin Feng continued to dive deeper. Chapter 4268. 110,000 meters. 120,000 meters. 130,000 meters. Lin Feng kept diving deeper and deeper. Finally, he came to a depth of 150,000 meters underground. The temperature here was extremely hot. There was magma everywhere. The magma was tumbling violently. This was the magma world. It was the outer region of the core world. Lin Feng finally came to this place. Of course, the temperature here did not pose much of a threat to Lin Feng. He flew quickly above the magma world. Lin Feng found that the magma world below was tumbling continuously. From time to time, huge waves would sweep through the world. There were no living creatures in the magma world. It was very difficult for living creatures to survive in such a place. Lin Feng continued flying. He saw the core of the world in the depths of the earth. It was a distorted world. It was as black as ink. A powerful devouring force surged from that place. It was like a ferocious beast that chose its prey. If one's cultivation was insufficient, they would be instantly devoured by the huge whirlpool in the depths of the core world. There was a tall and burly cultivator standing above the whirlpool. At this moment, the cultivator was constantly devouring the energy of the core world. Damn, this works too? Lin Feng's face revealed an expression of disbelief. Devouring the energy in the depths of the core world to improve one's cultivation. This method was really shocking. It was Lin Feng's first time seeing such a terrifying method. It was a holy demon. The aura on his body was exactly the same as the holy demon that Lin Feng had killed earlier. When the holy demon saw Lin Feng, he laughed sinisterly. It was a contemptuous, cold, and indifferent gaze. Perhaps in the eyes of the earth demon, Lin Feng was nothing in front of him. He could kill Lin Feng with just a flick of his finger. Lin Feng took a deep breath. The holy demon had reached the critical stage of transformation, so he did not attack Lin Feng. Lin Feng saw the holy demon's body swelling continuously. The Saint Devil's aura became stronger and stronger. Lin Feng immediately summoned the 4 stone swords. With a wave of his hand, the 4 stone swords quickly slashed towards the holy fiend. Lin Feng naturally wouldn't let this holy devil complete its transformation. Now that this holy devil was at a critical juncture of its transformation, most of his energy was focused on it. As such, all he had to do was interrupt this holy devil's breakthrough. In that case, this Saint Devil would definitely suffer a backlash, no matter how powerful he was. Once he suffered a backlash, his battle prowess would drop drastically. At that time, Lin Feng would have plenty of opportunities to kill this holy demon. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. The 4 stone swords were extremely fast. They quickly arrived in front of the holy devil and slashed towards it. After sensing the terrifying power contained within the 4 stone swords, the Saint Devil's expression changed slightly. Just now, he saw how young Lin Feng was, so he looked down on Lin Feng. Only now did he know how powerful Lin Feng was. This holy devil continued to transform while diverting part of its attention to deal with Lin Feng's 4 stone swords. He stretched out a palm. He waved his hand. Powerful dermic powers surged out and directly suppressed Lin Feng. That powerful dermic powers were about to suppress Lin Feng's 4 stone swords. Who would have thought? Lin Feng's 4 stone swords instantly dispersed. Under Lin Feng's control, the 4 stone swords changed their direction of attack and didn't attack the holy devil head-on. The holy devil's attack missed. Of course, this holy devil was very powerful. Although it didn't hit Lin Feng's 4 stone swords, the space around him started to distort. The 4 stone swords were trapped in the distorted space, and their speed decreased drastically. Once the speed of the 4 stone swords decreased, their power was greatly affected. This holy devil once again suppressed Lin Feng's 4 stone swords. This guy's face revealed an extremely proud expression. But in the next moment, This guy's expression became extremely ugly because Lin Feng took out many powerful dermic treasures after the 4 stone swords. For example, Lin Feng took out the 9 demons picture, Black Dragon Sword, Hell King Bell, Heavenly Drum, 5 Flames 7 Birds fan, 5 Dragon Wheel, Creation Gourd, and other treasures. Those supreme treasures all shot towards the sacred demon. Apocalyptic Ripple. This holy devil hurriedly used a powerful divine ability to block the attacks of so many dermic treasures. After this divine ability was used, with this holy devil as the center, ripples spread out in all directions. Those ripples contained unimaginably terrifying power. Then, those ripples collided with Lin Feng's dermic treasures. Many of Lin Feng's dermic treasures were hit by those ripples, and their speed and power were greatly reduced. This guy really had a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and his methods were really terrifying. As expected of a holy devil, his combat strength was really heaven-defying. However, among Lin Feng's dermic treasures, there was one treasure that avoided the attacks of the ripples. This treasure was the stone dagger that Lin Feng had obtained in the world of exile. The stone dagger was a stone dagger. Because this dagger was relatively short, it was very flexible to control. Also, because of its small size, the chances of it avoiding the apocalyptic ripples were much higher. In addition, Lin Feng deliberately used other dermic treasures to help the stone dagger block the apocalyptic ripples. Therefore, even though a few apocalyptic ripples were about to hit the stone dagger, they were all blocked by other dermic treasures in the end. Just like that, the stone dagger arrived in front of the holy devil without any hindrance, and then pierced towards the holy devil's body. Oomph! The holy devil coldly snorted and slapped the stone dagger with his palm. Dermic powers coiled around the surface of his palm. The holy devil wanted to slap the stone dagger away with his palm. However, he underestimated the stone dagger's power. The stone dagger's power was very terrifying. The stone dagger instantly pierced through the dermic powers coiling around the holy devil's palm. Then, with a poochied sound, it directly pierced the holy devil's palm. The stone dagger was stuck in the holy devil's palm. Dense runes suddenly appeared on the surface of the stone dagger. When those runes appeared, the stone dagger's devouring ability had been greatly improved. A large amount of blood surged into the stone dagger. This stone dagger's blood-sucking ability was incomparably terrifying. A large amount of blood in the holy devil's body was devoured by the stone dagger. Because of this, the holy devil's blood loss caused the blood chi in his body to collapse, and his breakthrough state was interrupted. Chapter 4269. Brat, you caused me to fail my breakthrough. I'm going to kill you. This terrifying existence roared angrily. The killing intent in his heart was monstrous. Everything was because of Lin Feng. Everything was because of Lin Feng. If it wasn't for Lin Feng, how could he have failed his breakthrough? Now, he wished he could cut Lin Feng into 1,000 pieces. However, his situation was rather bad. He had suffered a backlash, causing his battle strength to plummet. Moreover, a large amount of blood in his body had been devoured by the stone dagger. After a large amount of blood in his body had been devoured by the stone dagger, his cultivation level had plummeted once again. The collapse of one's chi and blood had a huge impact on a cultivator. This impact, it was simply fatal. This holy devil also knew that he couldn't continue like this. If this continued, his body would suffer even more serious injuries. Therefore, this holy devil directly chopped off the palm that was pierced by the stone dagger. At the critical moment, this guy was ruthless enough to himself. Whoosh! This holy devil quickly flew towards Lin Feng, wanting to kill Lin Feng. His speed was simply too fast, so fast that it was inconceivable. Have a taste of my energy bomb. Lin Feng sneered and directly used the burning wrath of the heavens. The 6 heavenly fires were compressed into a ball of flame. Then, Lin Feng took out the ball of flame. The ball of flame quickly flew towards this holy devil. After Lin Feng refined the 6th heavenly fire, he liked the burning wrath of the heavens very much. The burning wrath of the heavens that had fused with 6 heavenly fires was simply too powerful, and it was incomparably easy to use. Of course, the most important thing was the burning wrath of the heavens. It could erupt with unimaginable power. It could often cause great damage to the enemy. When he killed the first holy devil, the burning wrath of the heavens played a key role. Although this holy devil was incomparably angry, he didn't lose his mind. After sensing the power of the ball of flame, his expression suddenly changed. This holy devil quickly moved to the left, wanting to dodge the terrifying power of the ball of flame. However, the next moment, the fireball had already exploded, and a destructive energy wave engulfed the holy devil. At this critical juncture, the holy devil actually summoned a defensive light barrier. The defensive light barrier protected the holy devil within. That defensive light shield was very powerful, and it was able to withstand the impact of that terrifying energy. Of course, although he managed to withstand the impact of the terrifying energy, he did not come out unscathed. In fact, the defensive light barrier had already been shattered to pieces and could no longer serve any defensive purpose. The holy devil heaved a sigh of relief. However, Lin Feng's dozen or so powerful magic treasures had already flown over. The Saint Devil's expression turned grave. Lin Feng had too many attacking methods. He switched between divine abilities and magic treasures in various ways. And the most abnormal thing was that Lin Feng was actually able to activate more than 10 powerful magic treasures at the same time. Clearly, Lin Feng was capable of multitasking. This kind of ability really made people envious. Facing the attacks of those powerful magic treasures, a light flashed in the holy devil's hand, and a battle spear appeared. He held the battle spear with one hand. He swept the surrounding magic treasures with the other. Clang, clang, clang. A series of violent collisions rang out. One powerful magic treasure after another was blasted away. However, a few magic treasures still managed to break through the defense and arrived in front of the holy devil. Then, they ruthlessly slammed into the holy devil's body. The holy devil was instantly sent flying. Who knew how many of its bones had been broken by the impact? The holy devil spat out large mouthfuls of blood. His injuries were truly too severe. This brat is vicious. It's not good to continue fighting. The Saint Devil's eyes flashed with an extremely unsightly expression. He did not dare to continue fighting with Lin Feng. He turned around and quickly flew away. Right now, he only had one thought, and that was to escape. Escape as far as he could. You can't escape. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He put away all the magic treasures and quickly chased after the fleeing holy devil. Now that the holy devil was severely injured, it was a great opportunity to kill him. If he could not kill this holy devil now, it would be even more difficult to kill him when he recovered. The holy devil's speed was extremely fast. However, Lin Feng was also very fast, so the holy devil could not shake off Lin Feng at all. Both of them flew out from the underground world, and the holy devil flew above the desolate mountain forest. Lin Feng was hot on his tail. Brat, must you be so ruthless? We can negotiate. I can tell you the location of many immortal mansions. There are endless treasures in those immortal mansions, and they might even contain immortal sutras. As long as you agree to let me go, those immortal mansions will be yours in the future. The holy devil shouted loudly. Right now, he did not care about his dignity. Surviving was the most important thing, said Lin Feng with a cold smile on his face. Even though I'm not a gentleman, I can't wait to get rid of you as soon as possible. After hearing Lin Feng's words, the holy devil knew that there was no possibility of making peace with Lin Feng, so he continued to run. However, not long after, Lin Feng caught up to him. Lin Feng and the holy devil fought. This holy devil was extremely terrifying. Although it was severely injured, its battle strength was still extremely tyrannical. However, Lin Feng's methods were even more powerful. After a bitter battle, the holy devil was finally killed by Lin Feng. Powerful magic power continuously surged out of Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng's magic power wrapped around the corpse of the holy devil and then directly refined it into a holy devil fruit. Hee hee, great. I've finally gotten another holy devil fruit. Lin Feng smiled. Just as he was about to leave, the void suddenly split open. A golden flying sword the size of a palm flew out of the void. The flying sword was too fast. It was so fast that Lin Feng could not react in time. Moreover, The flying sword's grade was extremely high. Its power was incomparably terrifying. The flying sword instantly pierced through the void. It locked onto Lin Feng and slashed towards Lin Feng's head. At that moment, Lin Feng felt that he was about to be pulled into hell. The aura of death enveloped his entire body. This caused Lin Feng to involuntarily reveal an aghast expression. Lin Feng had not felt such a feeling for a long time. But now, he once again felt such a dense aura of death. This flying sword was too terrifying, wasn't it? The power was so strong that it was simply shocking. P.S. The recommendation votes have been a little low recently. Can I cast 2,000 recommendation votes today? Everyone, see if you have any recommendation votes. Vote for the Archean Dragonesque elephant art. Chapter 4270. It was too late to defend against the flying sword's attack. Therefore, Lin Feng did not think about defending against the flying sword's attack. He directly used the heaven patching technique. Lin Feng instantly disappeared from the spot. Besides, that flying sword had cut through the air and hadn't been able to injure Lin Feng in the slightest. Lin Feng avoided a disaster because of that. He appeared 300 meters away. Lin Feng shouted coldly, "Who are you, scoundrel? How dare you ambush me behind my back? Is this all you've got? Get the hell out here for me." Hearing Lin Feng's cold shout, a dozen cultivators flew over. Immediately, a dozen or so cultivators flew out. The leader was a middle-aged cultivator, and the palm-sized flying sword landed in his hand. Humph! The middle-aged cultivator looked coldly at Lin Feng and snorted. His eyes flashed with killing intent. "Junior, you're really arrogant." Lin Feng narrowed his eyes and looked at the cultivators. They were wearing the Dao Saint Palace's uniform. Lin Feng had killed Di Juetian before, so he naturally recognized their uniforms. The middle-aged cultivator was an itinerant immortal. No wonder he was so powerful. His cultivation level was high, and the flying sword was very powerful. Therefore, the power he could unleash with the flying sword was extremely terrifying. Lin Feng said indifferently, "I thought the Dao Saint Palace was a righteous sect, but now it seems like it's just a sanctimonious sect. How shameless are the people in the sect." "Kid, what did you say? How dare you? How dare you humiliate the Dao Saint Palace? Are you tired of living?" The cultivators of the Dao Saint Palace who heard Lin Feng's words roared angrily. They looked at Lin Feng with killing intent. The Dao Saint Palace held a very high position in their hearts. Even the Undying Realm had to treat it with caution, because the Dao Saint Palace had a very strong foundation. It was said that there were no less than 10 immortals sleeping in the Dao Saint Palace. Moreover, there were more. There were some high-level immortals. Most importantly, the Dao Saint Palace had the Heavenly Path Infinite Diagram, an ancient weapon. Ancient weapons were existences that surpassed immortal weapons. If its full power was released, it could easily kill an immortal-level expert. From this, one could see how terrifying ancient weapons were. The Dao Saint Palace had the Heaven Path Limitless Diagram, so no one dared to underestimate the Dao Saint Palace. But now, someone dared to insult Dao Saint Palace. How could the cultivators of Dao Saint Palace allow such a thing to happen? What? Am I wrong? How could he not allow others to talk about what he had done? Well, it makes sense. They talk about the righteousness of the immortal Dao, but they are evil and vicious behind their backs. This is the style of many self-proclaimed righteous sects. Lin Feng curled his lips and continued. The eyes of the cultivators from the Dao Saint Palace flashed with murderous intent. They were completely enraged. "Brat, do you think you can say whatever you want just because you killed a holy demon? Then you are gravely mistaken. Anyone who offends the Dao Saint Palace will not have a good ending. I don't care who you are, but you must die today." As soon as he finished speaking, the itinerant immortal expert summoned the flying sword again. Although the golden flying sword was very small in size, its power was indeed unimaginable. However, Lin Feng was not completely helpless against the golden flying sword. When the golden flying sword flew over again, Lin Feng summoned the heaven-devouring jar. Lin Feng knew that it was not wise to fight the golden flying sword head-on. Therefore, he planned to use the heaven-devouring jar to devour the flying sword. The heaven-devouring jar could devour all kinds of treasures. Naturally, it could devour the flying sword as well. Of course, if some treasures were too powerful, the heaven-devouring jar might not be able to devour them. After all, the current sky-devouring jar was still incomplete. There was still a certain gap between it and its peak power. Violent waves surged out of the heaven-devouring jar. After the heaven-devouring jar was summoned, it released a huge black hole. The black hole spun violently. Every time it spun, it vibrated with an extremely shocking power. Following the huge black hole's whirlpool, a powerful devouring force surged out and enveloped the incoming flying sword. After the flying sword was enveloped by the devouring force released by the heaven-devouring jar, it quickly flew toward the jar. Seeing this, the itinerant immortal expert from the Tao Saint Palace's expression changed abruptly. He hurriedly controlled the flying sword to rush out of the heaven-devouring jar's range. The flying sword shook the void and tore an opening, as if it wanted to rush out of the opening. However, at this moment, Lin Feng shot out runes. They were runes formed by the 8 god binding seals. Dense runes were branded above the flying sword, suppressing it directly. No matter how the flying sword struggled, it could not break free from the heaven-devouring jar's devouring force. Sword formation. The itinerant immortal expert shouted in a low voice. As soon as he finished speaking, the cultivators beside him summoned flying swords one after another. The flying swords of more than 10 cultivators formed a sword formation dragon in the void. The sword formation dragon quickly slashed toward Lin Feng. After sensing the power of the sword formation dragon, Lin Feng could not help but be shocked. The sword formation dragon was truly powerful. The combined power of the Tao Saint Palace's itinerant immortal and his subordinates was absolutely terrifying. Lin Feng was now fully focused on urging the heaven-devouring jar to devour the flying sword. He did not have the energy to deal with the sword chi dragon that was slashing toward him. Therefore, Lin Feng summoned his avatar. A light flashed in Lin Feng's dantian. His avatar wielded a black battle spear and swept it toward the sword chi dragon. Clang, 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 clang. A series of clanging sounds rang out as the flying swords were swept away by the avatar's black battle spear. An immortal realm avatar, when he saw Lin Feng's avatar, the Tao Saint Palace itinerant immortal's eyes flashed with deep greed. He could naturally tell the power of the avatar at a glance. What shocked him even more was that the avatar was formed from a sacred spirit of the Stone Clan. Others might not have been able to sense it, but the Tao Saint Palace itinerant immortal was very familiar with the aura of Stone Clan's sacred spirits. The Tao Saint Palace's independent celestial couldn't wait to kill Lin Feng and turn Lin Feng's celestial body into his own. At this moment, Lin Feng finally controlled the heaven-devouring jar to devour the golden flying sword. The golden flying sword was definitely an incredible treasure. Lin Feng waited patiently to refine it. My flying sword. The Tao Saint Palace itinerant immortal roared when he realized that his flying sword had been devoured by Lin Feng's treasure. He waved his hand and a huge energy palm formed in the air, slamming down on Lin Feng. The Tao Saint Palace itinerant immortal thought that Lin Feng's battle prowess was due to the power provided by his avatar. Therefore, when the avatar left Lin Feng's body, Lin Feng had become extremely weak. This was the best time to kill Lin Feng. The Tao Saint Palace itinerant immortal looked at Lin Feng as if he were looking at a dead man. In his opinion, without the support of his avatar, Lin Feng would die without a doubt. Chapter 4271. Lin Feng couldn't help but sneer in the face of the attack. He raised his hand and slapped at the incoming energy palm. Bang! With a violent collision sound, Lin Feng shattered the energy palm from the Tao Saint Palace's loose immortal. Although the Tao Saint Palace's loose immortal was extremely powerful, Lin Feng's current strength was also outstanding. Even without using the power of his clone, Lin Feng was still confident that he could neutralize the attack of an ordinary loose immortal. What's more, the Tao Saint Palace's loose immortal hadn't used his full strength in that attack. Neutralizing that attack wasn't difficult for Lin Feng. Whoosh! At this moment, the clone turned into a stream of light and flew back into Lin Feng's body. After merging with the clone's power, Lin Feng's strength increased greatly. Lin Feng sneered at the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortal. Now it's my turn to attack. Are you all ready to die? When Lin Feng finished talking, he immediately used the empty space spell. Lin Feng's use of the spatial Dao had reached a rather profound level. Therefore, once the spatial Dao was used, its power was extremely shocking. Just like now, after Lin Feng used the spatial stop ability, the surrounding space seemed to have fallen into a state of stillness. The dozen or so Dao Saint Palace's experts suddenly found themselves unable to move. Only the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortal could still move. Die! Lin Feng waved his hand and dense sword chi slashed at the Dao Saint Palace's experts. The Dao Saint Palace's experts were horrified. They were imprisoned in midair by Lin Feng and couldn't resist Lin Feng's attack at all. My lord, save us. The Dao Saint Palace's experts looked pleadingly at the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortal. They couldn't resist Lin Feng's attack. Therefore, they could only place their hopes on the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortal. But the Dao Saint Palace loose immortals ignored their pleas for help. Now, the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals found the various abilities and battle prowess displayed by Lin Feng inconceivable. The Dao Saint Palace itinerant immortal knew that it was unrealistic for him to kill Lin Feng now that his magic treasure had been taken away by Lin Feng. Therefore, the most important thing now was to leave quickly and find the other immortal realm experts of the Dao Saint Palace. This time, there was even a human immortal realm expert from the Dao Saint Palace who walked out. Of course, perhaps there was no need for an expert of this level to make a move. They only needed to find another expert of the loose immortal level to join forces, and they would definitely be able to kill Lin Feng. The Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals rushed out of the void sealed by Lin Feng and quickly fled into the distance. Puff, puff, puff. Then, the sound of tearing could be heard. One by one, the experts of the Dao Saint Palace were killed by Lin Feng. These people were either Sage Emperor level experts or Emperor Lord level experts. They were all very powerful. Lin Feng took their original strengths and their rings, then quickly chased after the Dao Saint Palace's independent celestial cultivators. Lin Feng's speed was simply too fast. Moreover, he knew the Dao of space. Therefore, it was almost impossible for the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals to escape from Lin Feng. Not long later, Lin Feng caught up with the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals. You can't escape. Today, you will definitely die. Lin Feng sneered and attacked the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals with a palm strike. The Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals turned around and attacked with a palm strike. The two sides collided violently, and then both of them were sent flying. Kid, I'm a fourth heaven loose immortal. You can't kill me. I don't want to fight to the death with you. If you know what's good for you, leave quickly. The Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals looked indifferently at Lin Feng and said. Lin Feng sneered. You think too highly of yourself? I admit that you're very powerful, but I have a great treasure on me. Killing you is a simple matter. Kid, even if you have a great treasure, don't even think about killing me. Even if you can use a treasure to suppress me, if I counterattack before I die, I'll drag you down with me. The Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals continued to threaten Lin Feng. Actually, this guy's words made sense. His cultivation level was very high. If he wanted to drag Lin Feng down with him before he died, it was indeed possible. However, the premise was that Lin Feng's treasure couldn't completely suppress him. Only then would he have the chance to drag Lin Feng down with him. However, the reality was different from what the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals thought. Lin Feng had a great defensive treasure, the ruler's armor. He also had many powerful treasures. Lin Feng had too many treasures. With these treasures, Lin Feng believed that he could suppress the Dao Saint Palace's cultivators and prevent them from counterattacking. When the time came, it would be no problem to kill the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals. Let's see if I can kill you or not, Lin Feng sneered. Then he waved his hand. Whoosh! Light flashed and powerful treasures were summoned by Lin Feng. Dozens of powerful treasures floated around Lin Feng. At the same time, the ruler's armor was also activated by Lin Feng, protecting Lin Feng's body. When the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals saw Lin Feng use so many treasures at once, their eyes almost popped out. Lin Feng had taken out an extremely powerful treasure and was using it to fight against him. That was what Lin Feng had guessed. However, the reality was completely different from what he had imagined. Lin Feng had taken out dozens of powerful treasures. Moreover, the auras emitted by these treasures were extremely terrifying. Some of the auras emitted by the treasures shocked the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals. This was because he felt an aura that was close to the heavenly Dao infinite diagram from some of the treasures. Actually, Lin Feng's 4 stone swords were of an extremely high level. If all 36 stone swords were gathered, even ancient weapons might not be a match for 36 stone swords. For example, Lin Feng's Bell of Hell, Sky Drum, and other treasures might not be at the level of ancient weapons, but they were probably quite close. Lin Feng had so many heaven-defying treasures, and Lin Feng could multitask these treasures. How would the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals dare to continue fighting? He turned and fled, but Lin Feng had already activated dozens of powerful treasures to attack the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals. The Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals condensed a starry sea world to block the attacks of Lin Feng's treasures. However, the starry sea world was destroyed in an instant. Then dozens of powerful treasures attacked the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals. The Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals took out an ancient defensive shield to block the attacks of the treasures. The shield was destroyed, and the Dao Saint Palace's loose immortals were sent flying. With a pong sound, half of his body directly exploded, suffering extremely serious injuries. Chapter 4272. He was severely injured. This Dao Saint Palace itinerant immortal's combat power was probably not even 20 to 30% of his peak. Lin Feng sneered. Remember, if you have the chance to be a good person in your next life, be a good person. Don't think that you can kill and steal without fear just because you're strong. In this world, there's always someone better than you. There will always be someone you can't afford to offend. As soon as he finished speaking, dozens of powerful Dharma treasures attacked the Dao Saint Palace itinerant immortal again. Kid, who do you think you are to lecture me? If you didn't have that immortal state body double and so many powerful Dharma treasures, do you think you could be my match? Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. The Dao Saint Palace itinerant immortal roared angrily. Clearly, he couldn't accept losing to Lin Feng, but he also knew that there was nothing he could do. He couldn't escape at all. The only thing he could do was drag Lin Feng down to hell with him. His body began to burn. As his physical body burned, his battle prowess also increased significantly. He clashed with Lin Feng's Dharma treasures as if he didn't care about his life. Those Dharma treasures were all sent flying by him. Then, he quickly charged toward Lin Feng. In midair, his body began to swell. He wanted to self-destruct. If an expert of his level self-destructed, he might really drag Lin Feng down with him. The Dao Saint Palace itinerant immortal's face was filled with ferocity. Perhaps he thought he would definitely succeed. But soon, he despaired. This was because an invisible force had instantly pierced through his chest. It was Lin Feng's cursing strength. When the cursing strength pierced through the chest of the Dao Saint Palace's individual celestial cultivator, the Dao Saint Palace's individual celestial cultivator was shocked. The Dao Saint Palace itinerant immortal immediately let out a shrill scream. Because his body quickly dried up like a popped balloon. He had wanted to drag Lin Feng down to hell with him, but in the end, he did not succeed. The Dao Saint Palace's itinerant immortal expert was naturally very depressed. However, Lin Feng seized this rare opportunity and rushed forward. With a punch, the powerful punch landed on the body of the Dao Saint Palace's individual immortal expert. In an instant, his body exploded. Lin Feng kept this person's source energy and storage ring. This person's source energy was very beneficial to his cultivation. Lin Feng quickly left the place. The Dao Saint Palace soon learned of the death of the Dao Saint Palace's itinerant immortal expert, because his primordial spirit lamp was broken. That was why the people of the Dao Saint Palace were able to find out about it immediately. The death of this itinerant immortal caused a huge uproar in the Dao Saint Palace. This was an immortal. He was so strong, yet he had fallen just like that. This was truly inconceivable. And how many years had it been since an immortal had fallen in the Dao Saint Palace? But now, an immortal had fallen. The people of the Dao Saint Palace felt that this was the greatest humiliation to the Dao Saint Palace. The upper echelon of the Dao Saint Palace wanted to use a divination technique to deduce who had killed the Dao Saint Palace's itinerant immortal. However, the upper echelon of the Dao Saint Palace failed. Lin Feng's body was shrouded in a powerful fate. It was too difficult to find out Lin Feng's secret. Investigate. Investigate for me. I don't believe that we can't find out anything. There's no such thing as an impenetrable wall in this world. The upper echelon of the Dao Saint Palace said coldly. They wanted to thoroughly investigate this matter. When the Dao Saint Palace mobilized a powerful force to investigate the death of the itinerant immortal in the sect, Lin Feng had already left the desolate planet and arrived at another planet. The planet that Lin Feng had just arrived at was also a desolate planet. He planned to continue cultivating in seclusion on this planet. Lin Feng checked the storage ring of the Dao Saint Palace's itinerant immortal. He found that there were all kinds of treasures in the storage ring. However, what shocked Lin Feng was that there was a holy devil fruit in the storage ring. When he saw the holy devil fruit, Lin Feng's face immediately showed an expression of ecstasy. This was really a pleasant surprise. Before this, Lin Feng had never thought that he would be able to obtain a holy devil fruit. Including the holy devil fruit that Lin Feng had obtained before, Lin Feng now had 2 holy devil fruits on him. After Lin Feng adjusted his state, he swallowed the 2 holy devil fruits. Then, he began to absorb the medicinal power of the holy devil fruit. The medicinal power of the holy devil fruit was still very strong. However, the difficulty of Lin Feng's breakthrough from the 8th heavenly layer to the 9th heavenly layer was obviously different. The degree of difficulty was increasing in a straight line. When Lin Feng refined the 2 holy devil fruits, he was still unable to smoothly break through to the 9th heavenly layer. F***CK. I'm afraid I'll need at least 3 holy devil fruits to break through. Lin Feng couldn't help but feel a little depressed. The energy contained in the 2 holy devil fruits was already very heaven-defying. However, Lin Feng's accumulation was just too great. Although the 2 holy devil fruits couldn't help Lin Feng break through to his current realm, Lin Feng wasn't without other methods. Lin Feng still had the source energy of the Dao Saint Palace's itinerant immortal expert that he had yet to refine. The source energy of the itinerant immortal expert. It was very useful to Lin Feng. Lin Feng began to devour the source energy of the Dao Saint Palace's itinerant immortal expert. Soon, the powerful source energy was devoured by Lin Feng. Next, Lin Feng used the archaic dragonesque elephant art to gradually refine the source energy of the itinerant immortal expert into pure energy. Then, Lin Feng began to absorb the pure energy. As the pure energy was gradually absorbed by Lin Feng's realm steadily rose. When all the pure energy was absorbed by Lin Feng, finally, Lin Feng completed his breakthrough. His realm had broken through from the 8th heavenly layer to the 9th heavenly layer. Hee, I finally broke through. Lin Feng's face broke into a smile. The holy devil fruits effect was very shocking. However, the next breakthrough would require even more holy devil fruits. After Lin Feng came out of seclusion, he left the star where he was in seclusion and entered the starry sky world. Soon, Lin Feng heard a piece of news. It was said that many holy devils had gone to the blood refinement great world. There were 3 great worlds in the Dao Saint Starfield. One of them was the blood refinement great world. It was said that the blood refinement great world was shrouded in blood qi all year round. It was an extremely evil great world. Therefore, very few people went there. However, sometimes, some cultivator groups would go to the blood refinement great world in search of opportunities. It was unknown why the holy devils had gone to the blood refinement great world. However, no matter what the reason was, the cultivators of the various factions had a strong desire to kill the holy devils. A large number of cultivators flew to the blood refinement great world. After receiving the news, Lin Feng also quickly flew to the blood refinement great world. Chapter 4273. Is that the blood refinement great world? Lin Feng stood in the starry sky world and looked at the huge world in the distance. Around that world, the blood chi was tumbling, and the blood chi even formed a powerful wave of snow. Waves of blood spread out in all directions. Anyone who was hit by the waves of blood, if their cultivation wasn't strong enough, their physical body would crumble. It seemed that the blood refinement great world wasn't a place anyone could enter as they wished. Many cultivators flew toward the blood refinement great world one after another. Lin Feng also flew toward the blood refinement great world. Lin Feng also saw many ancient starry sky ships in the surroundings. Some people felt that the blood chi outside the blood refinement great world was too terrifying, so they didn't plan to rely on their own strength to pass through the blood chi outside the blood refinement great world. Instead, they wanted to rely on ancient starry sky ships to pass through the blood refinement great world. Of course, this wasn't a bad idea. Many cultivators were searching for the whereabouts of the sacred demon, but it didn't mean that all of them aimed to kill the sacred demon. In fact, many cultivators were searching for the whereabouts of the sacred demon in order to sell the information to some major factions. This information was quite valuable. Of course, many cultivators were waiting to reap the benefits. There were also some cultivators who wanted to fish in troubled waters. Who knew? They might be able to obtain the sacred demon's origin after it died. Or, if he encountered a heavily injured holy devil, he would kill it. However, no matter what these cultivators were thinking, their goal was to kill the sacred demon. Lin Feng passed through the blood chi outside the blood refinement great world and entered the blood refinement great world. Inside the blood refinement great world, the blood refinement great world was filled with blood chi. The void also emitted the smell of blood. It was naturally very unpleasant to smell. It was nauseating to smell it. When one walked on the ground, blood could even seep out of the ground. After seeing this scene, Lin Feng couldn't help but reveal a shocked expression. Could it be that the blood refinement great world had become like this because too many people had died here in the past? Was that why it had become like this? Lin Feng told the demon lord about his doubts. The demon lord said, "It's not what you think. The blood refining great world is indeed very strange, but we don't know why it's so strange. However, we can be sure that the blood refining great world is hiding some amazing secrets." Lin Feng nodded. The demon lord's answer was beyond Lin Feng's expectations. At night, beasts were roaring in the forest. Lin Feng was resting next to a pond. He was sitting on a branch of a tree. He began to close his eyes and rest. If they found the holy demon, it would definitely be another bloody battle. Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, a dozen or so cultivators flew over from afar. The cultivators also landed beside the pool. "We've just arrived at the blood-refining great world, so we don't know what's going on here. Let's rest here for the night," a rather young and steady young master said. The others nodded in agreement. Then, the group of people found a place to rest. Whoosh! A female cultivator flew towards a big tree. Just as she reached the branch of the big tree, the female cultivator couldn't help but jump in fright. "Where did you come from, little thief? You actually dared to hide here. Take my palm." This female cultivator clearly had a shrewish personality and directly slapped towards Lin Feng. Her cold shout immediately startled the others. The other cultivators also rushed over. Lin Feng's wrist shook slightly and removed the strength of the female cultivator's palm. Then, he gently pulled. The shrewish female cultivator directly sat in Lin Feng's arms. At this moment, Lin Feng clearly saw the female cultivator's appearance. She was wearing a fiery red dress. She was petite. Her face was extremely beautiful, but the expression between her eyebrows made people feel that this female cultivator was not to be trifled with. This was indeed the case. This female cultivator was indeed not to be trifled with. Her personality was very shrewish. "Let go of me, you stinking rogue." After sitting in Lin Feng's arms, the female cultivator's pretty face turned pink. She was angry and embarrassed. Her other hand slapped towards Lin Feng, but Lin Feng's eyes were sharp and his hands were fast. He directly grabbed the female cultivator's wrist, making her unable to move. Lin Feng said, "I was resting here, but you came here and disturbed my rest. I didn't even blame you, but you attacked me first, truly the villain complaining about the victim. Hurry up and let go of me, otherwise, Do you believe this great ant will chop you up and feed you to the dogs? This female cultivator wasn't someone who would admit defeat. She fiercely glared at Lin Feng. Her eyes were very big and watery, very beautiful. Such a beautiful girl was actually a tigress. Lin Feng couldn't help but have an impulse to conquer this woman. Aren't you a tigress? Soon, this young master will make you sing conquer. You fell into my hands and still dare to threaten me? I'm afraid you don't know my methods, right? I think you're just asking for a beating. I don't mind helping your family to teach you a lesson. I'll let you know that when you're outside, you shouldn't be so rash. Trouble comes from the mouth. One wrong word and you might die a horrible death. Lin Feng pursed his lips and said. Then, he pressed the female cultivator onto his legs and raised his hand, as if he wanted to give her a few slaps. The female cultivator struggled violently. As she struggled, she scolded Lin Feng for being despicable and shameless. Seeing that Lin Feng's slap was about to land, another female cultivator in the group hurriedly said, This young master, this is all a misunderstanding. Although Sister Zishi is usually fierce, she's extremely kind. I hope that young master can be merciful. The female cultivator who pleaded was wearing a light blue long dress. She was tall and charming, and her skin was fair and beautiful. Not only was her figure perfect, her face was also breathtakingly beautiful. Ha ha ha, all right. I'll give this fairy some face and let you go, little Chili, Lin Feng said with a smile. Then, he pinched little Chili's beautiful face. This infuriated little Chili Pepper. She opened her mouth and bit Lin Feng's palm. However, Lin Feng easily dodged it. Then, Lin Feng gently pushed little Chili. Little Chili flew out. Then, she landed in the crowd. I'll chop you up, little Chili shouted fiercely. She took out a treasure sword and held it in her hand as she charged towards Lin Feng. However, she was stopped by the female cultivator who pleaded on her behalf. Sister Zishi, this young master has already been merciful. You have to control yourself. The female cultivator said. Xiao Zishi bit her lips. Although she was extremely unwilling and wanted to teach Lin Feng a lesson, Lin Feng had easily defeated her. But Lin Feng had managed to subdue her effortlessly. There was a huge difference between their strength. Therefore, Xiao Zishi could only stomp her feet and put away her treasure sword. Chapter 4274. Lin Feng jumped down from the tree. He glanced at the group and asked, Are you here to hunt sacred fiends as well? What? Can't we? If you can come, why can't we? Xiao Zishi snorted coldly. Xiao Zishi was the youngest and the weakest among the group. The others were all stronger than the last. Thus, they were extremely confident in their strength. Lin Feng smiled and said, Of course you can come. I didn't say I couldn't. The young man in the lead cupped his fists and said, I am Wei Limo from the Undying Realm's profound God region. How should I address you? We've only met by chance. Why ask for my name? Lin Feng said indifferently, then turned around to leave. Wei Limo couldn't help but frown. Very few people dared to look down on him like this. The others didn't look too happy either. They felt that Lin Feng was being too arrogant. Young master, please wait a moment. The blue-robed female cultivator said. What? Is there something else? Lin Feng glanced at the blue-robed female cultivator and asked, Young master, hunting sacred fiends alone is extremely dangerous. Why don't you come with us? We can take care of each other. The blue-robed female cultivator said. Lin Feng smiled and said, I'm used to being alone. Thank you for your kind intentions, fairy. If fate wills it, we'll meet again. We can find a chance to meet alone at dusk, when the moon is high in the sky, and we can have a romantic date. When she heard that, the female cultivator blushed slightly. Lin Feng's words were too presumptuous. It was as if he was openly flirting with the female cultivator. After all, this world wasn't a particularly open one. Women were rather conservative, especially those from large clans and factions. They were even more conservative. Many of them had ugly expressions on their faces. Several of the cultivators who admired the woman in blue wanted to attack Lin Feng and teach him a lesson. However, the woman in blue stopped them. After Lin Feng left, a young man said, Ling Yin, why did you stop us? That brat's mouth is really asking for a beating. He should be taught a good lesson. Little Chili Pepper also cried out and said, "That's right. That guy is too hateful. We should give him a good beating and let him know how powerful we are." The female cultivator called Ling Yin said, "That person. Since he dared to come to the blood refinement world alone, he obviously has some ability. If we fight, who knows what will happen? Although we are cultivators from the undying realm, we can't underestimate the cultivators from other worlds. Especially now, after the great changes in the world, many cultivators from the divine stones have appeared. Those people are very terrifying. Try not to make enemies when you are outside." Little Chili Pepper obviously didn't agree with Ling Yan's words. She felt that Lin Feng wasn't particularly difficult to deal with. There were many cultivators who thought the same as Little Chili Pepper. It was just that no one said anything. The next day, Lin Feng finally saw a sacred devil. Thousands of cultivators were besieging the sacred devil. The sacred devil was suppressed. However, there were no loose immortals among the experts besieging the sacred devil. Therefore, those cultivators weren't able to cause fatal damage to the sacred devil. Lin Feng took out the black dragon sword. He used the man descending from the heavens, a sword that could kill immortals. Lin Feng's body turned into a dazzling sword chi and slashed towards the sacred devil. Although the sacred devil was powerful, facing the siege of thousands of cultivators, he was also very helpless. Many ants could bite an elephant to death. What's more, there were so many cultivators attacking together. Their attacks were so powerful. It was even more terrifying. Therefore, after fighting for a while, the sacred devil's magic power was greatly depleted. Its combat strength was far from its peak, and its body was also heavily injured. If the cultivators besieging the sacred devil were given more time, the sacred devil would die without a doubt. At that time, the sacred devil would be refined into a sacred devil fruit. If there were no accidents, the cultivators who had joined forces to deal with the sacred devil would kill each other for the sacred devil fruit. This kind of situation was too common. Lin Feng was already used to it. However, Lin Feng had now made his move. These guys probably wouldn't have the chance to kill each other. The sword chi Lin Feng turned into instantly split the sacred devil's body in half. Then, Lin Feng circulated his magic power and refined the sacred devil into a sacred devil fruit. Lin Feng also turned into his original body and collected the sacred devil fruit. "Kid, who are you? Hurry up and hand over the sacred devil fruit. Otherwise, you will die without a burial place." Many cultivators shouted coldly. The surrounding cultivators were all from different factions. Some of the bigger factions had a few hundred, or even a few thousand people. Some of the smaller factions only had a few dozen people. However, regardless of whether they were from the bigger or the smaller factions, they all looked at Lin Feng with extremely cold gazes. Lin Feng smiled and said, "Everyone, there is only one sacred devil fruit. I think it's better if it belongs to me. I am thinking for all of you. If all of you fight over the sacred devil fruit, many people will die." Hearing this, many people couldn't help but be speechless. How could this guy be so thick-skinned? "Kill this kid." A group of cultivators roared with killing intent. Then, they all attacked Lin Feng. Boom, boom, boom. Attacks that blotted out the sky and covered the earth bombarded Lin Feng. Feeling the terrifying power of those attacks, Lin Feng couldn't help but jump in fright. The attacks of so many cultivators were naturally terrifying. Lin Feng didn't intend to fight them head-on. He condensed a space-time gate and then entered the space-time gate. Then, he disappeared without a trace. The space-time gate also disappeared. The attacks of thousands of cultivators landed on empty air. After seeing Lin Feng snatch the sacred devil fruit and swagger away, thousands of cultivators couldn't help but roar in anger. Their killing intent surged, and they couldn't wait to cut Lin Feng into 1,000 pieces. Find him even if you have to dig 3 feet into the ground." Many cultivators roared in anger. In a forest a few hundred miles away, Lin Feng walked out of the void with a smile on his face. Being able to obtain a sacred devil fruit was a good harvest. In the distance, demonic chi churned, and violent energy waves swept across the land. Lin Feng was shocked. Could it be that the sacred devil fruit had appeared? He quickly flew in the direction of the battle. When he arrived, Lin Feng saw that the forest was littered with corpses. He didn't know how many cultivators had died. A middle-aged cultivator killed those cultivators. The middle-aged cultivator then looked at Lin Feng, who had appeared. "I will kill you. I will kill you." The middle-aged cultivator roared, and the demonic qi in his body surged. Then, he quickly pounced on Lin Feng. Chapter 4275. It's not a cultivator from the Saint Devil tribe, but it's a demonic cultivator. Lin Feng was shocked when he saw the demonic cultivator pouncing towards him. He thought it was a demonic cultivator from the Saint Devil tribe. He didn't expect that the person who appeared wasn't a demonic cultivator from the Saint Devil tribe. The terrifying existence that appeared here had a heaven-defying cultivation. Lin Feng couldn't help but be astonished by the qi he released. He was definitely a terrifyingly strong cultivator. His eyes were blood-red, and the killing intent in his body was monstrous. Lin Feng didn't know who had provoked this person to cause him to have such killing intent. It was as if he hated the heavens, the earth, and all living beings. Lin Feng turned and flew away quickly. He didn't want to have a life and death battle with this terrifying existence. There wasn't anything to gain from it, and it was a complete waste of time and energy. If he wasn't careful, he might be killed. Lin Feng wanted to leave, but the demonic cultivator wasn't willing to let him go. He was extremely fast, and actually caught up with Lin Feng. Then, he sent a palm strike towards Lin Feng. Feeling the terrifying power of this palm strike, Lin Feng was shocked. This demonic cultivator's attack was too terrifying. Lin Feng didn't dare to be careless. He quickly activated the ruler's armor. The ruler's armor protected Lin Feng. At the same time, the power of the avatar and Lin Feng merged into one. The power of the ruler's armor and the golden dwarf merged into Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng's power reached its peak in an instant. Then, Lin Feng sent a palm strike towards the demonic cultivator. Bang! Both sides collided fiercely. Lin Feng's power had reached its peak, but when his palm strike collided with the demonic cultivator, he still couldn't resist. Lin Feng still couldn't compete with that strong cultivator. He was blown away by the evil cultivator. What terrifying power! Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. This terrifying existence was simply too powerful. He managed to stabilize his body with great difficulty. Who are you? You killed so many people, but you did not devour their corpses to cultivate your demonic arts. Surely, you are not killing people for the sake of cultivating your demonic arts. If that is the case, why did you kill so many people? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. Even if it was a heinous devil cultivator, they would not kill people for no reason. Some demonic cultivators had slaughtered hundreds of millions, or even billions of innocent people. The crimes they had committed were too numerous to be recorded. However, the reason why they did this was because they wanted to kill people to cultivate their demonic arts. However, the demonic cultivator in front of him didn't kill people for the sake of cultivating demonic arts. Moreover, he didn't collect the storage rings of those dead cultivators. This meant that he didn't kill people for money. Then why did he kill people? Was it purely a hobby? Some Devil Dao cultivators might really kill people out of interest. However, Lin Feng felt that the demonic cultivator in front of him was not such a person. This was an extremely strong intuition, and Lin Feng had always trusted his intuition very much. Revenge. I want revenge. 2 of my poor children have been killed. They were so young. Did they do anything wrong? They died so miserably. I want to kill. I want to kill. I want to kill everyone. I want to avenge my poor children. The demonic cultivator roared. Tears of blood flowed out of his eyes again. He was incomparably sad. Even though some time had passed, every time he thought of his child who had died tragically, his heart would still be filled with monstrous killing intent. After he finished speaking, the demonic cultivator charged at Lin Feng again. Lin Feng quickly retreated. 2 figures appeared in his mind. They were a little boy who looked to be about 5 or 6 years old and a little girl who was about the same age. Lin Feng clearly remembered that many cultivators thought they were from the Sacred Devil clan. Then, they launched a siege on their group. Although they explained to everyone again and again that they were not from the Sacred Devil clan. However, The cultivators who besieged them did not listen to their explanation. In the end, those people were killed. Lin Feng saw the great battle from afar. The little boy and the little girl were stabbed to death by a cultivator. Although Lin Feng pitied them and even wanted to save them, Lin Feng was powerless. Because there were tens of thousands of cultivators who besieged them. If Lin Feng really rushed over, he would also lose his life. Of course, doing good deeds was worth advocating, but one had to act according to one's ability. One could not lose one's life for doing good deeds. Lin Feng could not do this. I saw how your son and daughter died. Before they died, they kept calling for Daddy to save me. Daddy, save me. Unfortunately, you did not appear. Seeing the terrifying existence charging at him again, Lin Feng shouted loudly. After hearing Lin Feng's words, the terrifying existence's face showed a painful expression. Why? Why? Why did this happen? He roared hysterically as if he had gone mad. He kept hitting his head. He hated those who killed his children. He also hated himself. If he had appeared in time, his children would not have been killed. Seeing the demonic cultivator roaring like a madman, Lin Feng did not dare to hesitate and quickly rushed away. It just so happened that the demonic cultivator did not care about him. This was a great opportunity for him to leave. If he missed this opportunity, he might not be able to leave smoothly in the future. Lin Feng was very clear about this. Lin Feng quickly left. The demonic cultivator did not chase after him. Those words were naturally made up by Lin Feng. He just wanted to provoke the demonic cultivator so that he could use this opportunity to get rid of the demonic cultivator. Lin Feng flew for several hundred miles before letting out a long breath. At this time, he saw a large number of cultivators rushing forward. Lin Feng stopped one of them and asked. Only then did he know that there were 4 sacred demons in the mountain range ahead. At this moment, the 4 sacred demons were surrounded by many cultivators in the mountain range. A large number of cultivators were watching the 4 sacred demons. The news quickly spread. Therefore, the surrounding cultivators quickly rushed towards the mountain range ahead. They hoped to arrive in time and get a share of the loot. Lin Feng could not help but be shocked when he heard the news. For sacred demons, they could be refined into 4 sacred demon fruits. Lin Feng did not stop and quickly flew towards the mountain range where the 4 sacred demons were surrounded. Chapter 4276. When Lin Feng arrived at the mountain range, he discovered that a large number of cultivators had already gathered here. Those cultivators, they were densely packed. If there weren't 10,000 of them, there were at least 8,000 of them. At this moment, those cultivators were launching all kinds of attacks at the 4 holy demons in the mountain range. Moreover, there was a steady stream of cultivators coming from all directions. It seemed that the 4 holy demons were definitely going to die this time. Kill them. Let's kill these 4 guys, and then fight for the holy demon fruits with our own abilities. A cultivator shouted loudly. A large number of cultivators rushed into the mountain range, and their attacks became fiercer and fiercer. The battle also became more and more intense. Although the 4 holy demons were powerful, they couldn't win against the enemy's numbers. The enemy had so many people. If they really fought, it would be too tiring. The 4 holy demons wanted to break out of the encirclement, but they couldn't. The situation was becoming more and more unfavorable for the 4 holy demons. The 4 holy demons retreated step by step, retreating deeper into the mountain range. There was nothing they could do about it. If they didn't retreat, they would really be killed. However, they quickly retreated to the deepest part of the mountain range. They had nowhere else to retreat to. A large number of cultivators had surrounded them. They wanted to retreat. It was already as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Therefore, the current situation was extremely bad for them. The 4 holy demons could die at any time. Lin Feng also joined the battle against the 4 holy demons. He was waiting for the 4 holy demons to be killed, and then he would be the first to rush up and snatch their essences. Then, he would refine the essences of the 4 holy demons into holy demon fruits. When he thought of this, Lin Feng became somewhat excited. Boom, boom, boom. All kinds of powerful attacks were launched at the 4 holy demons. The defensive magic treasures that the 4 holy demons had summoned began to emit cracking sounds. Once the defensive magic treasures of the 4 holy demons broke, the 4 holy demons would definitely die. Everyone couldn't help but become excited, because everyone would be able to kill the 4 holy demons soon. However, right at this moment, the 4 holy demons suddenly let out a sinister laugh. You're about to die and you're still laughing? Let's see if you can still laugh when you die without a burial ground, a cultivator sneered. Kikik, it's you guys who are about to die. A bunch of self-righteous guys. Soon, you'll all go to hell. A saint devil said sinisterly. Just as he finished speaking, in an instant, runes intertwined, each of them containing an unimaginably terrifying power. Those runes completely sealed off the surrounding mountain range. Oh no, we've been tricked. Many cultivators' expressions changed drastically. Only now did they realize that they had been tricked. Before the 2 holy demons were forced to retreat, it was because he had lured everyone in and then lured them into a trap. Now that everyone had been lured into a trap, many people felt that the situation was extremely bad. The trap here was absolutely terrifying. Many cultivators began to attempt to break out of the encirclement. All kinds of divine abilities were unleashed, and all kinds of magic treasures were brought out. All of them charged towards the runes. Bang, bang, bang. The terrifying attack slammed into the runes. It was at this moment that something terrible happened. The divine abilities were instantly devoured by the runes. When the magic treasures came into contact with the runes, their luster immediately dimmed. Their spirituality was greatly reduced, and their power was greatly reduced. Following that, numerous blood-red rays of light shot out from the runes. The power of those blood-red rays was extremely shocking. Any cultivator who was swept by the blood-red rays directly disintegrated. They died miserably on the spot. A large number of cultivators died. Heavens, there's a trap inside. Let's quickly escape. Many cultivators cried out in horror. Those cultivators rejoiced that they had come too late and did not enter the mountain range. If they had come too early and entered the mountain range, at this moment, they would probably have died without a burial ground. The cultivators in the periphery quickly left. The cultivators trapped in the mountain range wanted to leave, but they were unable to. Those cultivators did not give up. They took out their defensive magic treasures to block the attacks of the blood-red rays. Then, they gathered together and began to attack the powerful runes around them. When many cultivators attacked together, the effect was extremely good. Cracking noises could be heard from those restrictive spells. The restrictions seemed to be on the verge of shattering. This scene caused many people to see the hope of escaping. However, in the next moment, in the sky, blood-red energy balls descended one after another. The power contained within those blood-red energy balls was simply too terrifying. The blood-red energy balls directly exploded, and a destructive power erupted in the crowd. A large number of cultivators were instantly drowned by the destructive power that surged out after the blood-red energy balls exploded. Those cultivators died on the spot. It was a completely one-sided massacre. Lin Feng frowned. Were those runes set up by the 4 sacred demons? Even he had not noticed those runes before. It was clear that those runes were extraordinary. The 4 sacred demons were incomparably terrifying existences at their peak. They were indeed able to set up some unimaginable runes. Therefore, Lin Feng did not find it strange. The ruler's armor had already covered Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng was doing his best to block the attacks of the blood-red rays, although he was unable to completely disperse all of them. However, those blood-red rays that swept across Lin Feng's body did not cause any harm to Lin Feng. The ruler's armor dissolved the power of those blood-red rays. Lin Feng's face immediately revealed an expression of relief. The ruler's armor was indeed powerful. It was very difficult for those blood-red rays to harm him. Lin Feng did not head towards a crowded place because the 4 sacred demons were concentrating their power to deal with the cultivators gathered together. A large number of cultivators died, and the speed of their deaths was extremely fast. Those cultivators simply could not resist the terrifying power of the blood-red rays. Soon, the ground was littered with corpses, and those corpses were all shattered. Their deaths were too tragic. Some of the surviving cultivators loudly begged, hoping that the 4 sacred demons would let them live. However, the 4 sacred demons simply ignored these people. In the end, those cultivators who begged for mercy were all killed. Other than the 4 sacred demons, only Linfeng was left alive. Nearly 10,000 cultivators had all died. The mountain range was littered with corpses. It was simply a mountain of corpses. It was truly too tragic. Brat, to be able to live until now, your methods are not ordinary. However, you are destined to become a ghost here. One of the sacred demons coldly said. The other 3 sacred demons looked at Linfeng as if they were looking at a dead man. The 4 sacred demons continued to activate those terrifying runes. Numerous blood-red rays of light surged out from the runes and swept towards Linfeng. Chapter 4277. Linfeng had already experienced the terrifying power of the Crimson Rays. Now that the Crimson Rays were focused on Linfeng, he had no choice but to be on guard against the terrifying power of the Crimson Rays. No one dared to underestimate the Crimson Rays. If they did, only death would await them. Linfeng also didn't dare to underestimate the terrifying power of the Crimson Rays. When the crimson light shone on him, he couldn't help but take a deep breath. The power of the Crimson Rays made him feel a little scared. However, Linfeng wasn't too worried. He swung the Black Dragon's sword at the Crimson Rays. The Crimson Rays were blocked one after another. Even if some of the Crimson Rays swept past Linfeng's body, they were all neutralized by the supreme treasure, the ruler's armor. After several rounds of attacks, the Crimson Rays were still unable to kill Linfeng. When the 4 holy demons saw this, their expressions instantly turned ugly. Originally, the 4 holy demons had thought that they could easily get rid of Linfeng. Who would have thought that the outcome would be like this? The 4 holy demons were naturally quite depressed. It seems that your methods are still a little lacking. Linfeng pursed his lips. One of the holy demons sneered. Brat, are you so proud of yourself just because you blocked the Crimson Rays' attacks? Don't forget that the 4 of us haven't even made a move yet. If we do, killing you will be as easy as crushing an ant. As soon as he finished speaking, the 4 holy demons closed in on Linfeng. They wanted to surround and attack Linfeng. They didn't care about their reputation. They only cared about whether or not they could kill Linfeng. Linfeng smiled coldly. Talismans appeared all around him. Actually, those talismans were also deployment spells. As for restrictions, they were a type of formation. However, the way some restrictions were constructed was slightly different from a formation. When the Crimson Rays were attacking the cultivators here, Linfeng had been studying the runes here. Of course, time was needed to go from research to comprehension. Only when the 4 holy demons were about to surround and attack Linfeng did Linfeng successfully comprehend the mysteries of these runes. Linfeng used the heaven-seizing technique to seize control of the Great Array. This was the inheritance of the Celestial Master Taoist. It was very powerful and overbearing. After a few attempts, Zhang Ziyan decided to try again. Finally, Linfeng discovered that he had established a close connection with the densely packed runes around him. Buzz, violent fluctuations spread out from those runes, and then rays of blood-red light shone out. Every single beam of blood-red light contained unimaginably terrifying power. When the blood-red rays of light shone towards the 4 holy demons, the 4 holy demons were all stunned. The 4 holy demons' expressions abruptly changed. They originally wanted to besiege Linfeng. Who would have thought that such a thing would happen? The 4 holy demons didn't know why these runes would attack them. This brat's methods are somewhat strange. Hurry up and seize control of the runes. One of the holy demons shouted in a deep voice. They hurriedly acted, wanting to seize control of the runes. However, they soon discovered that they had failed. Linfeng had seized control of the runes around him. As the successor of the Celestial Master Taoist, once Linfeng seized control of those runes, there was no way that the other party would be able to seize control of those runes. After failing to seize control of the runes, the 4 holy demons knew that they had no choice but to resist the attacks of the runes. Those blood-red rays of light were incomparably terrifying. Even the 4 holy demons had to be careful when dealing with them. Under the attack of the blood-red rays of light, nearly 10,000 cultivators were killed in an extremely short period of time, except for Lin Feng. From this, one could see how terrifying those blood-red rays of light were. Although the four holy demons had wanted to lure everyone into the mountain range, the injuries on their bodies were real. After being besieged by so many cultivators, they had consumed a lot of energy. Their current battle strength couldn't be compared to when they were at their peak. Facing the densely packed attacks of the blood-red rays of light, it was quite strenuous for them to resist. Moreover, blood-red balls of light would fall from the sky from time to time. The blood-red rays of light were a normal attack, while the blood-red balls of light were a higher level of attack. Once the blood-red balls of light fell, they would erupt with extremely terrifying power. It would make one's expression change. The four holy demons were sent flying by the exploding blood-red balls of light. At the very beginning, they were still able to resist. However, after more than 10 waves of blood-red rays of light and blood-red balls of light, the four holy demons gradually couldn't resist anymore. Their injuries became more and more serious, and their bodies were dripping with blood. This made the four holy demons go crazy with hatred. Arrogant and powerful people like them were actually forced into such a sorry state by Lin Feng. Now, the four holy demons wanted nothing more than to cut Lin Feng into pieces. However, they knew that they were under someone else's roof, and they had no choice but to lower their heads. Now wasn't the time to fight to the death with Lin Feng. The best way was to make peace with Lin Feng. Brat, there's no need for us to fight to the death, right? Although the four of us are being suppressed, if we fight to the death, the power we can erupt with is not something you can imagine. Why don't we sit down and have a good talk? If you let us go, we can give you endless treasures and even powerful inheritances. Isn't that a good suggestion? One of the holy demons said. Another holy demon added, the benefits in your hands are the most important. Everyone cultivates for the sake of improving themselves. There's no need to fight to the death. If you let us go, not only will you obtain these benefits, but you will also gain our friendship. Lin Feng laughed coldly. Tui, who cares about your friendship? This young master will kill you and refine you demons into holy demon fruits to increase my cultivation. You guys are unforgivable evildoers. You want to live? You're daydreaming. Also, let me tell you something. If we fight to the death, the fish will die, but the net won't break. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Feng took out more than 10 powerful treasures, which emitted intense fluctuations. The treasures all flashed with light as they shot towards the four holy demons. After the treasures joined the battle, the four holy demons' situation became even worse. Fight to the death with him? The four holy demons roared. They knew that if this continued, they would die at Lin Feng's hands sooner or later. Thus, the four holy demons began to burn their blood essence to increase their battle strength. Then, they charged towards Lin Feng. Chapter 4278. After burning their blood essence, the four holy devils became even more powerful. They even condensed an energy armor on the surface of their bodies. The energy armor's defensive power was astonishing. When the blood-red light swept past them, it left a wound on their body. However, when the energy armor appeared, the blood-red light couldn't injure them at all. These guys were really terrifying. Clearly, they had begun to use their desperate methods. It had to be said that these holy devils were really powerful. After using their desperate methods, even Lin Feng was quite shocked. If it wasn't for the fact that the four holy devils were surrounded by nearly 10,000 cultivators, causing them to consume a lot of energy, their combat power would have dropped drastically. Even if Lin Feng could control the runes here, he probably wouldn't be able to deal with the four holy devils. Asterisk bang bang bang. Asterisk the four holy devils displayed their invincible might and sent powerful magic treasures flying. Then, they tried their best to avoid the blood-red light and energy attacks. They kept getting closer to Lin Feng. The four holy devils wanted to quickly reach Lin Feng's side and kill Lin Feng. Lin Feng knew that if the four holy devils got close to him, he wouldn't be a match for them. At that time, there was a high chance that he would be killed by the four holy devils. Lin Feng also knew what his advantage was. His advantage was his control over the runes here. In addition, he had many powerful magic treasures. What he needed to do now was to increase the distance between him and the four holy devils. Then, he would use the runes and magic treasures to deal with the four holy devils. This was the best way to deal with them once and for all. He definitely couldn't let the four holy devils get close to him. If the four holy devils got close to him, it would be too disadvantageous for him. Lin Feng recalled 2 magic treasures because he planned to use the 1 Qi into 3 pure ones and 12 domineering magnetic fields. Lin Feng could now multitask. If he wanted to use other methods, he wouldn't be able to control so many magic treasures. After Lin Feng recalled the 2 magic treasures, he immediately used the 1 Qi into 3 pure ones. His body split into 3. Then, his true body and his 2 clones all displayed 4 layers of domineering magnetic fields. A total of 12 domineering magnetic fields stacked together, forming an unimaginable restrictive force and pressure. Domineering. When the 12 domineering magnetic fields enveloped the 4 holy demons, the 4 holy demons' expressions suddenly changed. They were all experienced and knowledgeable people. Now that they felt the domineering aura gushing out from Lin Feng's body, they were all shocked. They had never felt such a terrifying domineering aura. Their bodies were greatly suppressed, and it was extremely difficult for them to move. Moreover, their battle prowess had been weakened by at least 30 to 40%. This caused the 4 holy demons' expressions to become incomparably ugly. Originally, they had wanted to quickly approach Lin Feng and surround Lin Feng. They killed Lin Feng as fast as they could, but who would have thought that they couldn't even get close to Lin Feng? At this moment, powerful magic treasures under Lin Feng's control shot towards the 4 holy demons. Apart from Lin Feng's powerful magic treasures, blood-red rays of light and energy continued to wildly attack the 4 holy demons. After being enveloped by Lin Feng's 12 domineering magnetic fields, the 4 holy demons' speed and battle prowess had greatly decreased. Therefore, they were completely unable to contend against these terrifying attacks. Bang, 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 bang. The 4 holy demons were sent flying, and who knew how many bones in their bodies were broken? They spat out mouthfuls of blood and roared continuously. The 4 of us have dominated the world. How can we die in your hands? One of the holy demons roared, unable to accept the fact that they had lost to Lin Feng. An ant like you didn't even have the right to kneel and greet us in the past, the second holy demon said coldly. He was very arrogant. Even though the situation was so bad, he was still full of contempt for Lin Feng. It had to be said, this guy was really arrogant. Lin Feng sneered. Are you still living in a dream? This is no longer your era. If I were you, I'd rather escape from the forbidden god world and find a place to cultivate. Yet, you people came to a place like the Tao Saint Starfield to kill people without any restraint. You're just seeking death. As Lin Feng spoke, various attacks continued to bombard the 4 holy demons. Combine to deal with this kid, the 3rd holy demon said. All right, then combine. Use your strongest state to deal with him, the 4th holy demon said. Demonic energy surged from the 4 holy demons' bodies, and then the demonic energy enveloped them. Roar, roar, roar. After combining, the 4 holy demons became 1 holy demon. After combining, their bodies became extremely huge. They were at least 10 meters tall, and their auras were terrifying. Kid, let's see how you die later. After combining, the 4 holy demons roared. Their battle prowess had indeed increased greatly. Under the cover of Lin Feng's 12 magnetic fields, they regained their original speed. Moreover, their attacks became even more powerful. Powerful demonic energy swirled around their fists. With a punch, they shattered Lin Feng's treasures, as well as the many blood-colored rays of light and energy. They walked step by step toward Lin Feng, a ferocious expression on their faces. Lin Feng couldn't help but sneer. So what if they combined? There was nothing to be afraid of. Lin Feng stepped forward in the void and began to chant an incantation. O mighty Tao of Destiny, please descend with the power of destiny. Let this lowly creature who blasphemed destiny receive the punishment he deserves. As soon as Lin Feng's voice fell, the power of destiny descended and bombarded the 4 holy demons. The combined bodies of the 4 holy demons instantly separated again. No, No, no. Why is this happening? The four holy demons roared in horror. They couldn't believe what had just happened. They couldn't accept what had just happened. They had placed all their hopes on combining, but now, all their hopes had been extinguished. Lin Feng launched an even more powerful and violent attack. After an hour, the four holy demons couldn't withstand Lin Feng's attacks anymore. In the end, they were killed by Lin Feng. Lin Feng refined their source energy into four holy demon fruits. This was the fifth holy demon fruit that Lin Feng had collected. Lin Feng put away the four holy demon fruits and quickly left this place. Lin Feng didn't notice that the blood of the dead cultivators was constantly flowing out of their bodies. Then, their blood was sucked dry by the earth. Their corpses quickly turned into dried corpses. Chapter 4279. I've already collected 5 Saint Devil fruits. I wonder if I can break through to the 10th heaven of the Emperor realm with the help of these 5 Saint Devil fruits? Lin Feng could not help muttering to himself. He felt that these 5 fruits might not be able to help him complete the breakthrough. This was because when Lin Feng broke through to the 9th heaven of the Emperor realm, he had consumed 2 Saint Devil fruits and a bodiless celestial's origin to finally break through. It was obviously more difficult to break through to the 10th heaven of the Emperor realm. Therefore, breaking through to the 10th heaven of the Emperor realm was definitely as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Therefore, Lin Feng felt that 5 Saint Devil fruits were not enough to help him break through to the 10th heaven of the Emperor realm. It seemed like he had to continue collecting more Saint Devil fruits. There were still many cultivators who came to the blood refinement great world. Lin Feng heard a lot of news, such as someone obtaining a Saint Devil fruit and breaking through to a certain realm. There was a lot of news like this. On this day, a big piece of news spread throughout the blood refinement great world. The crown prince of the Dao Saint Palace, Dijue, was about to break through to the bodiless celestial realm. This news was simply earth-shattering. Lin Feng had met the top genius of the Dao Saint Palace, Dijue, before, so he knew how terrifying Dijue was. However, Lin Feng had never met Dijue before. In fact, it was his first time hearing the name Dijue. Now, countless cultivators were talking about Dijue. Lin Feng stopped a few cultivators, intending to ask about Dijue. The few cultivators who were stopped by Lin Feng had a respectful expression on their faces when they sensed the powerful aura in Lin Feng's body. Is Dijue very powerful? So many people have been talking about him recently. Lin Feng asked. A cultivator said, "Of course Dijue is powerful. This person, he has only cultivated for 180 years. Yet, he's about to break through to the bodiless celestial realm. From this, you can see how terrifying he is." What? 180 years of cultivation? Lin Feng's face was filled with disbelief. Dijue was too heaven-defying? Lin Feng had been practicing cultivation for 140 years already. Lin Feng's cultivation speed was about 40 years apart from Dijue's. Lin Feng's cultivation speed was already in defiance of the natural order. He had never thought that Dijue's cultivation speed would also be in defiance of the natural order. It was truly inconceivable. Dijue was definitely an unimaginably terrifying existence. The cultivator continued to say, "Rumor has it that when Diju was at the 10th heaven of the Emperor realm, he was able to fight against an itinerant immortal expert without losing. He's able to fight someone who's several levels higher than him. This shows how terrifying he is." Lin Feng also found it unbelievable. If what the cultivator said was true, then Dijue should be a monstrous genius on the same level as him. However, due to Dijue's age advantage, he temporarily shook off Lin Feng. He could not imagine how heaven-defying Dijue's combat strength was. Where did this guy come from? Lin Feng could not help but ask. Dijue's talent was so heaven-defying that he definitely had an extraordinary origin. I heard that Dijue is an expert who walked out of the Divine Stone. He was only 16 years old when he walked out of the Divine Stone. The speed of his cultivation base's improvement is just too fast. It's just that the outsiders don't know his exact origin. However, it's said that the immortals who walked out of the Divine Stone in the Dao Saint Palace are very respectful to Dijue. Dijue also calls himself the Crown Prince. His identity is incomparably noble. Therefore, the outside world speculated that Dijue's identity is very likely to be the descendant of a supreme expert in the history of the Dao Saint Palace. One of the cultivators said. Another cultivator said hatefully, "This Dijue is not a good person. He built the myriad immortal palace and collected a large number of beauties for his pleasure. Who knows how many people can't wait to kill him?" "Why? Do you hate him a lot?" Lin Feng looked at the cultivator in surprise. He noticed that the cultivator was gnashing his teeth when he talked about Dijue. Moreover, his eyes were filled with killing intent and hatred. "Hate? Of course, I hate him. My fiancée was taken away by him. However, my clan, we can't fight back. It's really a great shame," the cultivator said while gnashing his teeth. "Zhang Ming, stop talking," several of his companions hurriedly said. As the saying went, trouble comes from the mouth. Even if there was hatred in their hearts, they could not easily say it out loud. Moreover, they did not know Lin Feng's identity. The cultivator called Zhang Ming regained his senses. His face could not help but turn pale. If these words were to reach Dijue's ears, with Dijue's ruthless character, let alone him, even his clan might be annihilated. "We'll take our leave first." The group of cultivators did not dare to stay any longer. They cupped their fists and left quickly. The matter of Dijue's heavenly tribulation caused a huge commotion. Many cultivators went to watch Dijue's heavenly tribulation. Lin Feng was not interested in watching other people's heavenly tribulation. 1 month later, Lin Feng saw a cultivator wielding a heavenly halberd fighting a sacred devil. The cultivator wielding the heavenly halberd was like a heavenly emperor descending to the world. A light strike from the heavenly halberd in his hand seemed to be able to pierce through heaven and earth. Any sacred devil was extremely terrifying. The sacred devil that was fighting the cultivator wielding the heavenly halberd was also extremely powerful. However, the sacred devil could not withstand the opponent's attack. Poof! The cultivator wielding the heavenly halberd seized an opportunity and directly pierced the sacred devil's chest. The sacred devil. It immediately let out a shrill scream. The cultivator wielding the heavenly halberd lifted the sacred devil into the air and suddenly shook his right hand. The sacred devil's body was torn into pieces on the spot. It died a horrible death. Many people could not help but suck in a breath of cold air when they saw this scene. That was a sacred devil. The cultivator wielding the heavenly halberd did not even take 10 moves to kill the sacred devil. Heaven-defying. This was too heaven-defying. "Who is he?" someone asked, wanting to know the young man's identity. Such a terrifying figure was so heaven-defying. He must have an extraordinary identity. Lin Feng also wanted to know who that guy was. He was too terrifying. "He's Dijue, the crown prince of the Dao Saint Palace." "Dijue," someone said. Many people could not help but suck in a breath of cold air when they heard that. Many cultivators had heard of Dijue's great name. However, they had never seen Dijue before. Today, they finally saw him. Dijue was indeed too terrifying. He was like an immortal god. He was so powerful that people could not help but be aghast. Anyone who faced such a powerhouse would feel endless fear in their heart. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.